Tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
No paint, don't Rhino. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Get it done. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. That's President Biden's message to House Republicans with 5 days left to avoid a government shutdown.
Funding the government is one of the most basic responsibilities of the Congress. It's time for these Republicans in the House to start doing their job.
He posted a video on social media while a spending fight continues. Fox's Aisha Hasni in Washington.
Speaker McCarthy just spoke to reporters over in the Capitol, and he says he's moving forward with these appropriations bills, at least some of them, taking a vote on them this week. He also says he is going to put a continuing resolution that would help us buy time until they can pass a budget. He's going to put that on the floor this week, although he's saying it's not a clean CR. It's going to include border security.
That may face bipartisan opposition, with Democrats calling for a clean CR with no strings attached and several Republicans opposing any short-term bill. Now, the president's in Michigan, joining a picket line with striking auto workers.
Today is about the auto workers. That is what today is about. It's about standing in solidarity with the union members.
White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre telling reporters on the way there she does not think it undermines the president's potential role as a deal broker, also reiterating that the union leader invited him. Former President Trump will also meet with strikers in Michigan tomorrow instead of attending the second Republican presidential debate. A judge dismisses all charges against Philadelphia police officer Mark Dial, who was charged in the traffic stop shooting death of Eddie Irizarry, ruling lack of evidence that Dial committed any crime.
Attorneys for the 5-year veteran of the force say he was defending himself when he fired several shots into the vehicle because he thought Irizarry was holding a gun. He was actually holding a knife by his leg, which contradicts an earlier police claim that he'd lunged at Dial.
Fox's Lillian Wu. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online, qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly sunny skies and our temperatures stay above average by about 5 to 8 degrees. 85 this afternoon, just a tiny chance of a spot shower. Tough to find. Tonight, clouds. A couple of showers here and there. Very limited. 62 Wednesday, kind of the same story. Partly sunny skies, maybe a spot shower. 82 degrees on Wednesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Mark Cox here. Join me, Mark Reardon, and Annie Frey, along with Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw of the Retirement Advisory Group for the last Protecting Your Retirement educational event of the year. Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Seats are limited, so go online to retirementkey.com. Here's Thomas with more.
Are you nearing retirement and wondering if you'll be able to live the same lifestyle as you are now? Do you worry about losing your nest egg in the next big market correction? Did you know if you're 59 and a half or older, you can roll over your company retirement plan tax-free to protect your nest egg from any more losses and provide more income than most investment options? Would you like to know why linking to the market is so much safer than owning the market? You'll get all the answers and more. If you're 59 and a half or older, you don't want to miss this last event of the year.
Protect your retirement nest egg. Join the official financial advisors of my show, Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tuesday, October 3rd at the Frontenac Hilton at 6:30. Go online to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Make the Goodwill choice. Donate to Goodwill and help put people to work right here in St. Louis. And help yourself to a Lion's Choice famous roast beef sandwich. Clean out those closets and cabinets. Take your donations to Goodwill during the month of September, and you'll get a coupon for an original Lion's Choice roast beef sandwich, courtesy of Lion's Choice. Give hope. Give local. Give Goodwill. It's the right choice for Lion's Choice. Hurry, supplies are limited. Get details at mersgoodwill.org.
Gillette Intimate gives guys a gentle and easy shave on there. And around there. And even under there. Don't treat your groin like junk. Respect it with Gillette Intimate, the best a man can get. Buy now at a retailer near you.
The only person who can change your life is you, but you need to know how. Listen to my show, The Del Walmsley Radio Show, where the hype ends and the help begins.
Listen to the Del Walmsley Radio Show this Saturday afternoon from 1 to 2 p.m. on 97.1 FM Talk.
When you have Rhino Shield on your house, it does a couple of things for you. It beautifies the house, and it protects it from the harshest elements. And boy, do we see those here in the greater St. Louis area. You get instant curb appeal. It will stick to anything. Rhino Shield is the answer, no matter whether you're painting a home or a church or a business or a condo, because it's 100% waterproof. It takes care of the outdoor maintenance on whatever is on the outside of your home. The brick, the block, aluminum, steel, stucco. They can put this on with the 2 to 3 coat process. They're there about a week, and they do a great job. A lot of businesses have done it in the area. Several Firestones have done that. Vantage Credit Union over the years. Harlan Packaging down in DeSoto. Call Darren today and schedule your free estimate. 877-25-RHINO. Easy to remember phone number. Or go online today at 877-25rhino.com.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Well, welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Happy afternoons, probably your lunchtime. Hope you're enjoying a beautiful day outside. And the President of the United States enjoyed a beautiful day there in Wayne County, Michigan. And this is very brief, I think, but he joined the picket line. And let's just listen in to what the President had to say when he did that.
All right, good afternoon, UAW family. I want to thank Local 174, home of Walter Reuther.
Yeah.
Thank this local leadership and Director Laura Dickerson.
Is that it? That's it? He's done?
Yep.
So is that person who's talking right now somebody who's running the picket line?
Yeah, that is, I think he's a leader of the UAW.
So Biden just showed face.
Yeah. I mean, he was walking away from the mic with a bullhorn, or walking away from the bullhorn. He handed it over to this guy.
Well, I guess he's there. I haven't followed the strike here on this show as much as I know some other people are, but it's definitely going to impact. It's definitely going to be another spotlight on the what used to be, I guess, the blue collar lifestyle. People who are out there providing a trade or this sort of service to our country, and it's interesting to me that how that used to delineate Republican Democrat, it's actually now kind of delineates between the working class and the elitists. And for some reason, we've seen the left grasp firmly on the elitist side of that divide lately. I mean, more than I've ever experienced in my lifetime, in my almost 40 years.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean, used to be, Democrat was the party of the working man. They supported the unions. It seems like they still support the unions, but it's not so much that they support the union workers. They support the union. It's more important that the union maintains power, not so much that the union's doing great things for the worker.
Because what happens if the unions maintain power?
They get money, and then they can.
To whom?
The unions get money, and then the unions donate that money to the Democrat Party.
Who need to stay in power?
Right.
And they do so by how long? I got till 3. We can do this circle for another 3 hours. It's quite something. So we'll watch it. We'll see. I don't really feel like there is as much of a red-blue divide when it comes to American workers right now. And I think one of the things that Donald Trump said in South Carolina yesterday, and we aired at least some of that live yesterday because it happened around 2 o'clock during our show, was he was talking about Made in America. He was talking about making sure that it isn't punitive to do business in the United States and to make things in the United States. And that has always been a focus of the Make America Great Again agenda, and interesting to see Joe Biden show up on the picket line, and also interesting to see that he was there with a bullhorn and he didn't say much. I wonder if that was like a UAW request, or if that was a staffer request, or if he was told to speak and he just didn't.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could be any of those things. We've got a great show for you lined up today. Kayleigh McEnany is going to be on with us in a little less than 15 minutes, so I got to make sure I get out of this segment fast enough so we can get our full time with Kayleigh McEnany. Kayleigh used to come on my show on Saturdays when I was a Saturday 5 to 7 p.m. show host when I was given the opportunity to just, try this thing on radio and see if I was any good at it or see if I enjoyed it. And Kayleigh McEnany at the time was a spokesperson for the RNC, and she has just catapulted into the stratosphere with her success that she's had. So I always love being able to get on her schedule. It's not as easy as it used to be for sure in 2016, but grateful that she's coming back on with us. And I'm going to talk to her. Is there anything that you laid out specifically that we wanted to talk to her? You said news, any news headlines?
News of the day.
I'm going to ask her our poll question today. And I'm going to see what she thinks about it. She worked for former President Donald Trump, and she has a lot to say. She's been very complimentary of Ron DeSantis and things that the governor has done in her home state of Florida. She sat down and interviewed multiple people associated with all of these campaigns, Ron DeSantis included. So I'm going to ask her, what's it like to be a Floridian, to have come from the experience of working in the Trump administration, and in my opinion, doing a wonderful job as press secretary. I long for the days of Kayleigh McEnany or Sarah Huckabee Sanders behind the microphone to speak on behalf of the presidential administration. But the YouTube live chat poll for today is, if it were up to you, would Donald Trump participate in the debates? Yes or no? I can make an argument as a constituent, as a voter, as a taxpayer, and as somebody, if I were advising Donald Trump, I think maybe what I'd be advising him is different. Kind of interesting how that goes, isn't it? You go to the Annie Frey YouTube channel and let us know. If it were up to you, would Donald Trump participate in the debates, yes or no? Brad, I'm going to ask you this question here in a second, so you can give your feedback. When you join us on the YouTube Live, you can leave comments and you can tell us what you think. For instance, we got a few comments coming in already. Katie says, yes, I would prefer to have all of the Republicans with a shot becoming our next president on the stage debating, since it's the best way for voters to make a direct comparison among them. What do you think about it, Brad?
I think if it were up to me, Donald Trump would participate. I get it. I understand the strategy and all that behind that. I'm a firm believer that really the candidates owe it to their constituents, to the voters that they're trying to persuade, to convince them that their path, that they are the best candidate. I don't think that any candidate should be rewarded for not showing up to a debate, be it Republican, Democrat, or whatever. So I don't like it from just that standpoint. I understand the political strategy behind it, and I'm a little disappointed in the electorate that allows that to be a successful political strategy. It should be a political death note if you don't show up.
Here's the question real quick. if let's say all 50 states voted today in their primary caucus, whatever. Let's just say everybody, it was today, surprise.
Yeah.
And everybody went to vote, and it shook out exactly the way the polls are suggesting that it would. Donald Trump runs away with this thing. And the debate is tomorrow. Are there still Republicans that Donald Trump needs to persuade to vote for him?
Well, yeah, every Republican that didn't vote for him in the primary needs to be persuaded. I mean, there might be some. I would consider myself among this group that if Donald Trump wins the primary, they're happily going to vote for Donald Trump in the general.
Yeah,
I wouldn't
same.
need to be persuaded. But I do know that there are a bunch of Republicans out there that probably would be like, I'm going to stay home.
Are there disenchanted Democrats, independents, moderates, or non-voters who would benefit from the opportunity to hear what Donald Trump has to say in that form?
I think so. And I think that it's actually a very good asset to Donald Trump because if you look at how the media has treated him, they've made a concerted effort to keep him from being able to get his message out. Everything has been initially it was just to silence him. Let's remove him from all social media platforms. Let's ban his ability to advertise, to post videos, or whatever it may be. They really didn't want to do it. Media, I mean, I think like CNN and MSNBC and some of those stations are still doing this where they're like, Trump is talking, but we're not going to show it because it's full of misinformation. I don't think they want people to hear what he has to say. So, yeah, I think that if he would go out there and talk, there are a bunch of disenfranchised Democrat voters that might go, hey, I kind of like what this guy's saying. There's also a ton of independents, probably more independents than there are Democrats that would want to hear what he has to say and could be persuaded.
Chris on YouTube says, yes, I'd like Donald Trump to debate. Maybe he will get through to some independents and common sense Democrats. And I mean, that's really my perspective on it. I don't know how Donald Trump threads this needle because every day he wakes up and puts his slippers on in the morning to go get whatever he eats for breakfast. He is going through an obstacle course that has been laid out in front of him. But I wish that Donald Trump would continue to have that attitude of, this is mine. And if it's not my primary, something significant is going to happen that is going to, for whatever particular reason, remove Donald Trump from this race because he's not backing down. This guy's not stepping aside. He's not stepping out. I don't even know what that would be. He has a solid majority of Republican voters, according to the polls, on his side right now. Just because you have the primary locked up doesn't mean you have the general locked up. And I am very interested in seeing Donald Trump go out and use these debates as opportunities to persuade the persuadable. And yes, it might be a very, very small number, but we're talking, 10,000 votes in Wisconsin or whatever it is? If you persuade 1,000 people by showing up on a debate stage, I'm going to give this guy a chance because I've seen now what the Democrats will do with this power. If Donald Trump would look at it as an opportunity to level up in the next stage, and I said this yesterday, he's on the stage in South Carolina, he's throwing blows about policy, he's saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that, and we did this and we're going to do that again, but we're going to add X, Y, and Z to it. He's talking about policy, and I want to give credit where credit is due because that's my plea with Donald Trump. Tell us what you're going to do for us. I see with eyes wide open what they are doing to you. But your efforts to become the president is to be my president. What are you going to do for me? What are you going to do for my children? What are you going to do for my ability to work my tail off to provide for myself the greatest success that I can accomplish along with my husband for our kids and for our kids' kids? We are working hard. How are you going to make it so that we aren't conflicted and confronted with turmoil every time we go to try to write a check to pay a grocery bill, to fill the gas tank? I saw somebody in California was paying over $6 a gallon. I think it was $6.70 a gallon of gas in California. This isn't right. It isn't good. And the American people deserve better. And we need a man who has policies like Donald Trump to become the president again, because in the meantime, Joe Biden is destroying this country. The people who Joe Biden have put into some position of authority to protect our border, to try to, oversee how we spend taxpayer dollars. You've got a man whose budget, whose spending, He is bragging to you. He's trying to dunk on the idea that while the deficit continues to careen into the abyss, he lowered the increase of the deficit. That is not trophy worthy. You get no blue ribbons for that. You get red tape and red numbers. We have to look at what these candidates present us, and we have to be put into a position where we know who we're investing our vote in because we know what we're getting back. And Donald Trump showed us that yesterday. And I just feel like if he were on that stage tomorrow night with the Fox Business Debate, which we will be covering live right here on 97.1 FM Talk. You can listen to the debate here. If you're not going to be in front of a TV, we understand you still might want to tune in. Also, the Annie Frey YouTube channel will be doing a live watch party. You can join us there. I think that Donald Trump has a benefit, and the country has benefit to seeing him on that stage and hearing him articulate what he is going to do as the president of the United States. And he doesn't have to do it dunking on Ron DeSantis or Vivek or whom. I don't know if he'll even dunk on Vivek. I'd actually kind of like to see that. I'd kind of like to see those two go at it. I just want to see if they're willing to take some punches and throw some punches. We want to know what you think. YouTube live chat poll on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. If it were up to you, would Donald Trump participate in the debates, yes or no? Quick break here. When we return, I'm going to ask Kayleigh McEnany that and see what she has to say about it. Also, I'm going to talk to her about the interviews she's been doing with people involved in these campaigns, what she's learned and what she wants us to know about who wants to be the president of the United States. We'll be back in just a minute.
Time grabs you by the wrist, directs you where to go.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
It's not a question, but
Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
But in the end is right. I hope you had the time of your life.
Michael's Flooring Outlet is online at igotfloored.com. Shopping for flooring online is a good place to start, but eventually you're going to want to go into one of their stores to see and feel and look and walk on the different type of flooring that they offer. They have wonderful displays at Michael's Flooring Outlet that make you feel confident that the investment you're making in that Mohawk Smart Silk line of carpeting or the Techwood Plus line of flooring, you're going to see that and you're going to go, yeah, this is it. This is what I've been wanting. Or maybe you're just going to want one shade over the other, and maybe sometimes online you can't tell 100% what you're looking at. If you go online, though, to igotfloored.com, you're going to be able to see a place where you can request an estimate. You're going to see all the different types of flooring options that they have available to you, which means if you're looking for hardwood, there are a lot of options that can get you the hardwood look that aren't necessarily specifically hardwood. If hardwood is what you're looking for, they have that as well. Go to igotfloored.com and see all of the different products they have available to you. And remember, when you shop at Michael's Flooring Outlet, you're shopping local. Find them at any of their 3 locations in St. Charles County, West County, and Darien Prairie. You can find them online at igotfloored.com.
Tired of constantly caring for a home exterior that doesn't look as good as it should? You deserve beautiful, low-maintenance James Hardie fiber cement siding. James Hardie gives you gorgeous colors, stands up to Missouri's harsh weather, and lasts decades. At Lakeside Renovation and Design, we're experts in installing America's #1 siding, and our lifetime workmanship warranty gives you peace of mind. Get a lovely, lasting home exterior with Lakeside Renovation and Design. Request a free consultation at 636-978-5000. That's 636-978-5000. And love your home all over again.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
With the Wholesale Formula Seminar, find out how to start your own Amazon business.
This is Nick Chouquette. I lost a lot of money on a failed landscaping business and had to move in with my dad. After attending the Wholesale Formula Seminar, I went from having no job to $1 million in revenue on Amazon just 2 years later.
Hi, it's Emric Monello. When I first immigrated to the United States, I had no idea how I was going to earn a living. I attended the Wholesale Formula Seminar, and my first year on Amazon, I did over $700,000 in sales.
My name is Jeremiah Holbrook. I've sold over $10 million on Amazon thanks to what I learned from the Wholesale Formula.
Whether you have a business and want to sell more on Amazon, retired, or just need extra money, America's Amazon expert Dylan Frost will show you how. Attend Dylan's live in-person seminar for only $49.99, guaranteed, or your money back. That's right. Discover the easy way to make money with Amazon. Meet Dylan Frost at the Wholesale Formula Live 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
Nobody brings you more value in fine jewelry than Diamonds Direct, and they're proving it again by rolling back interest rates to 0%. But you need to hurry. Now through Sunday only, you can make any purchase and spread your payments over 5 years with an unheard of interest rate of 0.0%. A $6,000 ring is just $100 a month. But hurry, this radical offer ends Sunday at 5 p.m. Don't miss this once-a-year blockbuster deal. Hurry, 5 years, zero interest financing. Get details and more at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct, your love, our passion. On approved credit.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is hiring licensed journeymen. Don't have a journeyman license? Air Comfort Service will help you get it. Get guaranteed hours year-round and more. Apply online at aircomfortservice.com.
The second Republican primary debate is live from California, and 97.1 FM Talk is bringing it to you this Wednesday starting at 8. Listen live. 97.1 FM Talk, St. Louis's home for conservative talk. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Listen to the wind blow, watch the sun rise.
We're leading by a lot, according to the Washington Post, ABC, against probably the worst president, definitely the worst president, I'd say, in the history of our country.
So Donald Trump talking about his big lead in the primaries, but also the big lead against, we found out from the poll, he's got a 9-point lead over President Biden. Lots of people calling it an outlier. And when you consider the sources, I can understand why that is, but there's got to be some truth to that. You got to compare all the context of a Donald Trump lead over Joe Biden, but the great dissatisfaction that voters have right now with Joe Biden. It starts to make all the numbers come together and make a bit of sense. Let's talk to our friend Kayleigh McEnany about it. So great to have you back on the show, Kayleigh, with us, co-host of Outnumbered on Fox, former White House press secretary, and author of Serenity in the Storm. Kayleigh, welcome back to the Annie Frey Show.
Hey, Annie, great to join you.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, I know that you're putting in a lot of work to do a little extra digging around some of these candidates who are running for office, their families, and trying to get that perspective of the suburban woman, which I greatly appreciate, the mom out there. But you also have a lot of experience, working with President Trump. You're a Florida resident. Ron DeSantis is your governor. I just want to get your opinions and thoughts on the layout for the debate on Fox Business tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting night. You have a lot of great conservatives on that stage, a lot of people who kind of signified the divides within our party. I would like to think, the party is by and large united around a lot of common principles, and I think that's true. But you see, they call it the more populist element. I kind of take quibbles with that term. I would say, by and large, you've got a lot of conservatives on that stage and some who maybe are more of the establishment ilk. But it's exciting to see a party with such great ideas going back and forth. Younger talent, kind of symbolized by Vivek and Governor DeSantis. statesmen who have been in these positions for a long time, like Vice President Pence, still young, and Ambassador Haley, but have really, that experience. And of course, former President Trump, who, ushered in a booming economy, got 3 justices on the Supreme Court, got us to a post Roe v. Wade era. So though Trump won't be there, I think you're going to see a lot of exciting ideas going back and forth. I thought the first Fox debate was just a huge success. Millions and millions watched, and I expect just the same from Stuart Varney and Dana Perino.
We're speaking with Kayleigh McEnany here on the Annie Frey Show. I agree with that. We did a watch party. We had a full house of listeners come out and watch it on a big screen. And when I was watching people take in the substance of what that last debate put forth, even if Donald Trump is the obvious nominee with the poll numbers that he has, it wouldn't really be surprising if he were. It still was really refreshing to see a stage full of Republicans who may differ here and there on particular issues, but all of them with great solutions and alternatives to what Joe Biden is doing to this country right now.
For sure. And look, not a single vote has been cast. Every single poll shows President Trump up by about 40 points. So, at this moment in time, he is the far and away front runner. That being said, not a single vote's been cast. You did see the deck kind of shake up for second place. Governor DeSantis still holding that position, but Ambassador Haley moving into a solid third place. In New Hampshire, she's moved into a second place posture. So you wonder, incrementalism, does she move up even more after this next debate? Does Governor DeSantis regain some steam? You just never know. This is politics. But the one thing we do know is former President Trump is very much ahead at this point.
Yeah, and the Republican bench is very deep. When you look over across the aisle at President Biden right now, and people aren't even sure if he's going to make it through a day, let alone a second term. And then if you think, okay, I'm a firm believer that Joe Biden's not going to be the nominee. I think I've heard you say he absolutely is, and I hope he is, because I think that is the best chance for Republicans in 2024. But there aren't a lot of obvious places for the Democratic Party to look should Joe Biden not be the guy in November of 2024. Do you still feel confident that he's the one who's going to be on the ballot?
So you are right in characterizing my position. I have said over and over again, he will be the one on the ballot. And I say that because all of the reporting I read, the palace intrigue pieces about how Joe Biden is behind the scenes, the animating theme of everything from his decision in Afghanistan, which was against the advice of his generals, parts of that, to just how he treats staff. He has a very stubborn streak. He is set in his ways. I do not think you can convince him to willingly step off the ticket. And these deadlines are coming up for candidates to get their names on the ballot. So I would think, we're blowing past the idea that Newsom could be on every ballot in the state. But where I am a little more convinced of your side of the argument is that recently this just loud echo chamber of liberal pundits saying Biden is the weakest candidate, this 10-point lead Trump has on President Biden in the Washington Post poll, I do see a scenario where the echo chamber gets so loud that maybe in a convention you start to shift around some of these delegates, super delegates, chaos at the convention, and maybe someone else ends up being the nominee. I could see a scenario like that if this trajectory continues.
Man, it's going to be a wild ride, and there's so many different things that are going to play out. You mentioned the most important thing is no vote has been cast. The nomination belongs to the American people to choose, and that is done by voting, and none of that has happened yet. The case still needs to be made. I really want to give you an opportunity to talk about your book, Serenity in the Storm, because your perspective, and when I watch you now, and outnumbered, and you and I have had conversations for years about politics, that you're always grounded in your faith. And I think that for me, whenever I start to get a little worrisome and anxious about what's going on in politics, it's very important for me to remember that, God is in charge of all things. And as the storm rages around us, there's only going to come from peace in one place, and that's faith. And you've written a whole book about it.
Yeah, our elected leaders will never take us to a place of peace and sanguine in this country. And we can have bad leaders. President Reagan, President Trump, I thought were fantastic. President Bush as well. But that's temporary. That's 4 years. That's 8 years. There are times when our leaders don't always match up with our value system. But what I would say is this, is if we can get back to a place in this country where the family unit matters, where young people go back to church, where I've been so encouraged, the Asbury revival we've seen, my friends who are pastors, I've been hearing reports of baptisms, that just tons of people showing up. I can testify that in my own church that was half full. Now you can barely get a parking spot. I think when we preach truth and the truth of Jesus Christ and the truth of our faith and how it's worked in our own lives, there is a magnetism to that. And that is the one thing, a nationwide revival that could get us back to some of those traditional values that I think undergird the greatness of America.
And Kayleigh, people need to hear that from faith-filled people. And there is faith out there in all shapes and sizes. You and I share a Christian faith, but I really lean hard on my listeners as a reminder to myself that we're not going to elect the person who's going to fix all of the problems, and that real true conservatism believes in smaller government, which means the needs that we see in our communities right now, there's no official that we need to wait to show up to fix that. We can go help our neighbors in need right now. And that's what true conservatism does, is identify those problems and put that faith in action like you've talked about, and not leave it to some sort of political outcome to find that peace.
That's right. And I think that the radical left has gone so far in their overreach into our kids' classrooms, this gender ideology, wanting to teach sexuality to kindergartners. All of these things we've seen, which are not made up, it's happening all across the country. Some of the images in the books we can't even show on Outnumbered at Fox. It has gone so far into the overreach territory that you are seeing members of all faiths stand up and say this is not right. The Muslim community, the Jewish community, the Christian community saying everything we stand for as believers in traditional values, that we want parents teaching our children about sexuality, not teachers in the kindergarten to third grade classroom.
Yeah, amen. Well, the book, Kayleigh McEnany's book is Serenity in the Storm. I encourage you to check that out and read it when you feel the anxiousness coming in, and also love watching you on Outnumbered. Kayleigh, thank you for your thoughts today. We look forward to talking to you always. Hopefully we'll be able to do it again.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Annie.
All right, bye-bye. Kayleigh McEnany, co-host of Outnumbered on Fox News, the former White House press secretary, author of Serenity in the Storm, on with us today. Great to have her join us. We're going to take a quick break. We have Ryan Wiggins coming in studio for Wiggins America. What did he say? What the subject is? What would Ryan Reynolds do?
Yeah, what would Ryan Reynolds do?
I should have made that the YouTube live chat poll. I mean, the answers are honestly limitless, I suppose.
Yeah.
What would Ryan Reynolds do? I don't know. I'm surprised it's not what would Ryan Wiggins do? That's too many W's and R's in one sentence. I don't know. It's always fun. Wiggins America when we come back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
RulerFoods.com, but I'm gonna direct you to Ruler Foods in Collinsville. Tomorrow, it's the diaper drive. We did this last year, and y'all showed up with the greatest outcome, the amount of diapers that we were able to raise for St. Louis Diaper Bank through the Princess Storm Diaper Drive from Hot 104.1, our sister station over there. And the story about Ruler Foods getting involved in this is we identified just kind of across the hall here at the radio station a way that we could partner and help people. And Ruler Foods said, we'll do you one better. We want to help the both of you help these people. And I've been having the best time almost for a year now partnering with Ruler Foods, where I go to grocery shop to save money every single time I shop. They have great low prices every day, and then they have extra specials where you can save even more. For instance, right now, Kroger Grade A large eggs, 12 count, a dozen eggs, 88 cents each. It's crazy. Limit 2 because the prices are so crazy. When you go shop at Ruler Foods, you're going to save every day. But tomorrow, we'll be out at the Ruler Foods in Collinsville from noon to 3, broadcasting live, where we invite you to come out, say hello, drop off some diapers, and let's help those St. Louis babies and families in need get those diapers on those babies' bottoms. If you need to find a Ruler Foods closest to you, go to rulerfoods.com.
Your home has made you equity rich on paper, and you're planning on using that cash to retire, travel, or just downsize into a new place that's paid off. Good for you. But the longer you wait, the greater chance higher interest rates could chip away at your home's value. While your home value is still high, the time to act is now with TrueHold. TrueHold buys your home now, and you can stay in your home for as long as you want. TrueHold buys your home for its best current value, and you bank the cash. Cash to do whatever you like, while TrueHold takes care of property taxes, insurance, and upkeep. Don't miss this opportunity to cash in on your equity and stay in your home as long as you'd like as a renter. Visit TrueHold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
It's game day at Jim's house, and the spread is impressive.
Mike's already done some damage with the hot wings, and now he's dropping back and going deep for another slice of pizza.
I sure hope he brought the Pepto.
Mike knows the Pepto-Bismol provides fast 5-symptom relief from unexpected stomach upsets. He's no rookie.
The way he's throwing back those nachos, he's the GOAT.
Be ready for game day with Pepto-Bismol.
When you have nausea, heartburn, indigestion, upset stomach, diarrhea.
Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Do you struggle with occasional nerve aches in your hands or feet? Try Nervive Nerve Relief from the world's #1 nerve care company. Nervive tablets contain alpha-lipoic acid to relieve nerve aches, weakness, and discomfort, plus B-complex vitamins to support healthy nerve function as you age. Live life with less nerve discomfort with Nervive Nerve Relief. Learn more at nervivehealth.com. And try Nervive Pain Relieving Cream to block nerve pain signals at the source. Use as directed.
Mark Cox here. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how to link to the market without the risk. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go online to retirementkey.com.
It looks like wood, it feels like wood, but it's maintenance-free. It's luxurious James Hardie siding. And during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary event, you get same-as-cash financing on Hardie products and Pella windows. Let Banner Construction transform your home into the envy of the neighborhood. Call now and have Banner's design team give you some great options and a free quote. 314-569-1050. Online, bannerconstruction.com. That's 569-1050. And have a banner day.
The Annie Frey YouTube live chat poll of the day. If it were up to you, would Donald Trump participate in the debates? I could see a lot of answers to this. So it is a yes or no question on the poll, but let us know in the chat, in the comments, why you voted yes or no. We'll reveal those results at about 2 hours from now, 2:40-ish. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Big ideas, real debate, solid entertainment. It's all here on St. Louis's home for conservative talk, 97.1 FM Talk.
Take a seat right over there, sat on the stairs, stay or leave. The cabinets are bare and I'm unaware of just how we got into this mess. Got so aggressive.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Instagram at the Annie Frey Show.
Why don't you come on over? I can't just let you go. Oh, baby. Why don't you just meet me in the middle? I'm losing my mind just a little. So why don't you just meet me in the middle? In the middle. Baby. Why don't you just meet me in the middle?
All right, Ryan Wiggins, take it from here.
Are you asking me to sing? What are you asking me to do?
I had a hard out at 12:35 with Kayleigh McEnany, so I had to hit that.
I know you did. So we have a long segment.
Too much pressure for you.
It's too much time.
Do you want to argue about the Roman Empire?
Yeah, actually I do, real quick, because I think that your point is valid and should be addressed. Because when people were listening to X's and O's on Friday,
what was the question?
The question was, give me any 1 year within the Roman Empire.
And I said,
would you say 50 BC?
Mm-hmm. What do you think when I said that, Brad?
I thought that's in there.
And it was incorrect.
It was incorrect according to the source that I had pulled, which said 27 BC was when it started.
During this, I was like, are you serious? Because I thought I was like pretty close there. I thought I even guesstimate. I don't know. I thought I was safe. And then I Googled, when did the Roman Empire begin? And it said 27 BC. And I thought, that's the effort that Ryan put in, and it's hard to argue with that now.
That is the effort I put in. Well, the reason I thought it was going to be a gimme question kind of is because there were literally almost 1,500 years that you could have chosen.
And I picked one 23 years earlier.
Just before the source I had, which many people have now said, no, I actually think that Annie's right because you can't.
Have you had anyone else say that to you?
No, just
Me.
you.
My husband
But I have heard that.
My husband was blowing my phone up. He was
a
home with
history guy.
Molly. He's a
Yeah.
history teacher.
Yeah.
And I could read to you the text messages the messages he was sending me to be like, that is a really strange line to draw on the Roman Empire because he was saying it was like hundreds of years BC. Like the empire starts what comes first, the empire or the emperor?
Mhm.
Probably the empire.
Well, in Rome's case, yeah.
Yes. And yeah, I've studied. I've been studying because I thought I was pretty proud of my 50 BC answer for knowing that because before that viral, how often does the man in your life think of the Roman Empire? And some people were saying literally daily. I'm like, maybe I need to know more about the Roman Empire. So I've been watching YouTube videos on the Roman Empire and I'm like, I know this. I feel so good. And you're like, wrong by 23 years.
I guess that begs the question, Annie. How often do you think of the Roman Empire?
Now when I'm bored, which is not very often, but it is a filler, and I feel good about it. I feel good about learning about it.
I just figured with that many years, especially into AD, like Constantine and all these things, that it was like, this will be fine.
If you went and asked 100 people out on the street right now to name a year in the Roman Empire, I don't think that you'd have a majority of people who would get it right.
Really? Kind of want to do that now and find out.
200 people.
Oh. The sample size is going to change the results?
Yeah, it's just going to keep you busy.
You just want me to be gone for the most of the show.
You go down to Keener Plaza and
Okay.
ask those people down there. They're probably business people. Some of them might live there.
Mm-hmm.
And ask them about the Roman.
First, where do you live?
Will you please wear like a
Mark Cox and
fedora.
Ray Show shirt?
not a fedora.
No fedora?
A Mark Cox show shirt? Yeah. And one of those Roman,
Oh, yeah.
like the leaves.
A Roman helm.
Olive.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I see what you're
What
saying.
kind of leaves are those? Olive branch
Yeah,
leaves? I don't know.
generally, yeah.
I haven't gotten to that chapter yet. Leave me alone, people.
Ooh, writing this down for
Wiggins,
X's and O's
America.
this week.
Wiggins, America.
All right. Wiggins!
What the leaves are?
What's the name of the helmet or what the leaves are? That's going to be on X's and O's.
What kind of leaves?
Yeah,
You're just
find
going to
out.
Google it and read the answer from Google. It's going to be wrong again.
Well, yeah, that's true. You know what? It really is hard to find the questions that have a very distinct answer because some of those questions are pretty open-ended.
Wreaths of leaves from laurel, olive, oak, myrtle, and celery.
Celery. Let's
Anywho.
remember that one.
Why, that's what you need to do. You need to go ask Roman Empire questions with a hat of celery. Use the stalks,
I
though,
love
not
it.
the leaves.
Hey, it's Celery Hat out
And
here in Keener Plaza.
Do
Just
not
a
forget that Mark Cox
just
Show
a-
t-shirt.
A rubber band holding it to the side of your head.
I got another hot video here from Celery Hat. That's my new name
Mark
online.
Cox is texting Mark Reardon right now and making a trade. Hide all the Mark Cox Show t-shirts.
Well, for Wiggins America today, did you realize that I have a celebrity crush?
I'm not surprised.
It's not Taylor Swift.
Oh, I thought it was yourself.
No.
Oh.
No. Well, I guess that would qualify.
Yeah, Ryan.
X's and O's question. That's a good one.
Ryan is just sitting here thinking about the fact that I called him a celebrity.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
all.
I'm like,
That's all you're
oh,
thinking
well,
about.
Well. Gotta love that. No, it is a Ryan, though. It's Ryan Reynolds. You mentioned this a little bit. Ryan Reynolds is an A-list celebrity. He can get projects done. Did you know that he was a child star? This isn't part of Wiggins America, but did you know that he was a child
And
star?
in fact, is part of Wiggins America.
Well, I mean, this isn't the point of it, but
Your subject is Ryan Reynolds
Yeah,
for
it's Ryan
Wiggins
Reynolds.
America. Now you're giving us non-contextual Ryan Reynolds trivia.
yeah.
On the side?
I just thought of this, and
This
I thought
isn't a crush. This
maybe
is
people
infatuation.
don't know this.
Tell
that
us.
Ryan Reynolds was a child star. He was Canadian. He probably still is Canadian in some way. He, I don't know where he lives. I
He's all
really
flustered.
don't know.
He's getting all giggly. Why is your face so red?
I'm fine. I'm
Your
a celebrity.
cheeks
I can handle this.
You're getting all flush.
That's so weird.
He was in a show called The Odyssey.
Okay.
That was Canadian. It was about a kid that went into a coma and went into like coma land. And Ryan Reynolds was in season 2 and 3 as probably a 12-year-old, 13-year-old. And he played like the king of coma land.
Could you have been a child star?
No, I would laugh through my lines and I would probably ad-lib too much.
I was going to say, would you even say your lines?
No, I have trouble saying lines, anything I've ever done. Teleprompters are not my friend. Actually, they are my best friend because they keep me on track. But Ryan
Speaking
Reynolds,
of.
yeah.
Hey, Ethan, can you get a teleprompter in here?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Teleprompter.
You get a big one, too. When I was on Song Stage, ours was like the size of Brad's torso so that I couldn't miss it.
That's really rude.
Did he just call me big?
Yes,
no,
he did.
not well.
He
Your
said
torso.
you were
I was
huge.
actually implying bigger than just your torso. Like
No,
it was like
it's-
your entire body.
Really
muscles are
happy
so
that he said
huge.
that about you and not me.
Yeah, no joke.
So anyway, Ryan Reynolds is giving us some life advice, and I want to see if this is stuff that you've ever applied. It's a little cliche, but I think there's a lot of truth in it when it comes from somebody as heralded and as respected as Ryan Reynolds.
Follow your heart.
That you.
No? Is that it? Is that number one?
No, listen. He's got the credentials. He's not just the movie star. This dude has built and sold businesses in the last
Booze, phone
5 years or
companies.
so, worth a total of $2 billion. That is amazing. That is using your celebrity to succeed in other industry, which a lot of celebrities are doing now, but he is chief among them.
Ashton Kutcher.
In 2020, what has he done?
Lots of stuff.
Oh, has he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
In 2020,
He's Brad's celebrity crush.
No, he's not.
I'm sorry, I wasn't supposed to doubt you.
is it Demi Moore?
No.
In 2020, Ryan Reynolds sold Aviation American Gin for $600 million after acquiring a stake in 2018. In 2020, also, he had built up Mint Mobile. He acquired a 25% stake in this little bitty Mint Mobile, which now everybody's heard about because from 2017 to 2020, he grew it by 50,000%.
That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
1,000%.
Then right after 2020, he sold it for $1.35 billion.
Ethan says he's on it.
Thank you, Ethan. So here is his life and career advice. Again, these are things you've heard before, but I genuinely want to know, is this stuff that you, when you encounter adversity, do you apply these things? The first, he says that you have to navigate unfamiliar territory and be comfortable being uncomfortable. He says, quote, you can't be good at something unless you're willing to be bad at it. Is that something that you have ever applied in your career?
It's hard to say. That sounds like something that sounds like advice that would be given on Saturday Night Live.
No, yeah, that's something I've applied to my life. I've never, when I came into this job, I hadn't done radio before, so I had to be willing to be bad at radio before I could try to become good at radio. I don't know if I'm good at radio or not yet, but that's kind of where you have to start. I mean, if I was afraid of being bad at it, there's no way I would have taken the job.
I did the same thing, and it was here because I had worked in TV and radio before, but coming here and doing news talk radio was so different than anything I had done that I think for the first 6 months that I worked here, I don't know that I really talked a whole lot. I was just trying to learn because it moves so dang fast.
Yeah.
Never been in such a fast-moving environment before.
Most scared I've ever been was before I hosted my first show. I tried to bail out. I think I called my pastor.
Really?
Yes.
I love
Or I
that.
texted him or something. Yeah,
What do you say? Get over it? Do your show?
you'll be fine.
Oh, good
And if you
advice.
don't, it'll just be really public.
Sounds like something I would say.
Do people ever ask you, because they have asked me, but in the last couple of years they've stopped because I don't know if they care anymore. They used to ask, how do you do 2-3 hours of talk?
Yeah. That's
You get that question a
usually
lot?
the number
Yeah.
one question. How do you do that?
Yeah. What do you say?
They want to know what my day looks like. How do I prep? And the truth is that there is very little time where I sit down and am prepping. But there is really no time where I'm not prepping. So I can't be like, well, I'll just catch up on the news between 10 a.m. and 11 a.m. and then do the show. What happens if at 11 a.m. they indict a senator and now that's the big news of the day? You'd have to get into a steady flow of consumption of information, and then you have to prioritize things you're constantly in news headline triage where you're like, I need to stop what I'm doing and get my footing on this, or that sounds interesting. I might talk about that later, and then often I never get back to it. And then every once in a while, I misprioritize something, and something turns into a big story, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know anything about that. But I can only do so much. And I think that the other thing is, on this station specifically, Mark Hawks in the Morning, Mark Reardon, they both are very heavily invested in local politics and state politics, and they do a wonderful job of covering that. And I just don't do it as much as they do, because I would direct you, if I were going to have somebody to come on and talk about something that's going on in the city of St. Louis or in the state of Missouri, I would have Mark on to talk about it. And use, as opposed to going somewhere else and get their thoughts on it if we wanted to discuss it before I would necessarily go to another expert or elected official, because they're so in tune with it. And I would venture to say that they would feel the same way about me with Illinois stuff. It's kind of like know what you can do well and know what you don't do well. And if I'm not a lawyer, I am not a foreign policy expert, we have those guests on. Not an economist, we have those experts on. So it's like, kind of prioritizing what I can do, and very much so, I guess, being okay with being bad at legal advice and finding someone who is good at it.
You're almost exactly like Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Number 2 on his list out of 3. He says that he views problems not only as obstacles, but as opportunities for creative solutions. I mean, some of this stuff sounds like corporate jargon.
I agree with that.
But there is truth in it.
Mm-hmm. Every challenge is an opportunity. And people who are afraid of challenges, who cower in front of the challenges, I'm looking to leave all of those people in the dust. And this show has faced a lot of challenges, and I think every challenge that has been presented to us has made the show better.
I will also say, before we move on to number 3, that it is a little bit easier if you're already a multimillionaire to make these claims.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
what if you're a thousandaire?
Well, if you barely have any money to invest in a company, for instance, like he's talking about doing.
It's like, just hang on tight. Things will work out.
Yeah.
Will they?
Yeah, and like everybody in the world knows who you are and loves you and would bend over backwards to do anything with you. You have a little bit of an advantage there. The last one on his list, he talks about Deadpool and the fact that they had a really hard time getting that movie made. That they would greenlight it and then strip away the funding over and over and over and over. And he said every time the studio took away money from our budget, we replaced whatever set piece we lost with more character. The focus on character over spectacle led Deadpool to become the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, reaffirming this principle that he says resource constraints, really constraints of any type, can drive innovation.
Do you like Deadpool?
I saw it way after the fact, and I did enjoy it.
Do you like Deadpool?
I do, yeah.
I think I've seen it once. I don't even remember what it was about. I don't remember being in love with it. I don't think it was a movie made for me.
No, probably not.
And I respect things that might be good and appreciated, but not by me, because there are things that I think are good and appreciated that might not be for other people. It doesn't make them, just because somebody else says they don't love it, doesn't make it any less special for me. So, but Deadpool is not my...
No, I actually really thought the movie was funny. It's pretty crass. And it's a little surprising that Disney now owns it and is going to continue to make them.
It's on Disney Plus.
But
that you can't just say it's on Disney Plus. You have to dig and change a lot of features in order to get to that. So saying it's on Disney Plus is not. I mean, you can access it, but you've got to turn the app inside out in order to access it.
But it is a really unique and funny movie. Just the breaking of the fourth wall thing is so weird that it makes it unique.
Right, and that's what made the comic, that's what made the character who he is and so famous, was the fourth wall breaking and all that other stuff.
All right, let's take a quick break. Corey DeAngelis is going to be with us when we come back, and we're going to talk about school choice. There's a special pack that's been created right now to help move the school choice movement across the country, and Corey DeAngelis joins us to talk about it.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Man, we're approaching the end of September fast, and that means we're approaching the end of the year when you start to look at appointments, you start to look at your benefits, and making sure you use what you have. If you have dental insurance, you definitely need to get those visits in before the end of the year. And then maybe if you're planning on having it at the beginning of next year and it resets, you can make an appointment with Fountains Family Dentistry right now for January. It's easy to do at fountainsfamilydentistry.com. Right there on their website, on the home page, it just comes up, says make an appointment. So you could do it even on your phone or wherever's easiest for you. The nice thing about going there is that once you get your teeth cleaned and you just kind of establish that you have a home dentist, it's not like you go all the time. You see them, once, twice a year maybe. But if you ever need anything beyond the typical, the cleanings, you can get exams there. You can get root canal therapy. You can get crowns, sleep dentistry, all the stuff I talk about with the retainer you wear at night. You can do it all there, including cosmetic dentistry. Start at fountainsfamilydentistry.com.
Level 10, People Analyzer, Quarterly Conversations, VTO. If these terms sound familiar, you are a business that runs on EOS. At Acropolis Technology Group, we get it and have been running on EOS as well since we put our ESOP in place for our employees back in 2015. We understand how important it is to invest in our business and consistently get better quarter after quarter. If you're an EOS business, or if you are just looking for a mature technology managed service provider that delivers consistent results, give us a call. Our average employee and our average client have been with us well over 10 years, and some clients and staff for over 20. Whether you are EOS or you use another system of constant improvement, we have and want to work with companies that spend as much time working on their business as we spend working on ours. We serve some of the best organizations in St. Louis, and we would like to serve you too. Visit us on the web at acropolistech.com and let's start a conversation. Acropolis, serving St. Louis since 1996.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio, 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
Striking auto workers are fired up. Lisa Brady, Fox News. Cheering as President Biden makes what the White House and UAW call a historic trip by a sitting president to the picket lines, telling workers in Wayne County, Michigan, they made sacrifices during the financial crisis when auto companies were in trouble.
But now they're doing incredibly well. And guess what? You should be doing incredibly well, too.
At the same event, union leader Shawn Fain railing against corporate greed. It's day 12 of the strike against Detroit's Big Three, which face non-union competitors with cheaper labor and a transition to electric vehicles that's costing billions so far. Former President Trump will visit auto workers in Michigan tomorrow, while 7 other Republicans running for president will be in California for the second GOP debate.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will be center stage. To his right, you will have entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy. And to the left, former South Carolina Governor Nikki Haley.
Fox Business's Madison Allworth in Simi Valley, California, where Senator Tim Scott, former Governor Chris Christie, former Vice President Mike Pence, and North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum round out the debate lineup. Fox News Radio will provide special coverage beginning at 7 Eastern tomorrow night. Listen at foxnewsradio.com. Just getting reports that an explosion and fire at a fuel depot in a disputed region of Eastern Europe is now blamed for at least 125 deaths. It happened as ethnic Armenians were filling their tanks to flee to Armenia from Nagorno-Karabakh after Azerbaijani forces took control there. USAID Chief Samantha Power in Armenia to announce more than $11 million in humanitarian assistance.
To provide everything from food to psychosocial support.
She says many unaccompanied children are among the thousands crossing that border. America is listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart. Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online. Qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly sunny skies and our temperatures stay above average by about 5 to 8 degrees. 85 this afternoon, just a tiny chance of a spot shower. Tough to find. Tonight, clouds. A couple of showers here and there. Very limited. 62 Wednesday, kind of the same story. Partly sunny skies, maybe a spot shower. 82 degrees on Wednesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
When your people are ready, your business is ready. Cintas makes sure they have what they need to perform their best. Whether it's freshly laundered work apparel for almost any job imaginable, fire protection systems that are tested and inspected, first aid and safety supplies, floor mats, or cleaning tools and restroom products, stocked and ready when you need them. Better work days happen together, so visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
How much is safety and peace of mind worth to you? Severe weather can happen suddenly, and the AccuWeather app gives you more accurate and timely warnings than any other source, right down to the street level. A Premium Plus subscription on the AccuWeather app costs less than a cup of coffee each month, and with it, you get the fastest and most accurate alerts to keep you and your loved ones safer. Clear, concise, and actionable forecasts with superior accuracy. Download the AccuWeather app and choose a Premium Plus subscription today.
I should talk about this more. C.A. Jones, a great partner with us here on the Annie Frey Show, building homes on the Illinois side of the river. They are proud military and first responder supporters. They offer veterans, active, and first responders specials on new homes, solars, and remodels. If you have been thinking about building a home, if you've been thinking about solar for that home, C.A. Jones is right there to help you throughout this process. They build gorgeous homes, and they actually have new home inventory to purchase right now on their website at cajonesinc.com. On their website at cajonesinc.com, they have buildable plans that you can navigate. You can look at the different layouts that they have for homes, and then you can go build them digitally right there in front of you so you can see this is the color of the masonry, this is the color of the shutters, this is the color of my new front door that I haven't invested in yet. And then all of a sudden you go, yeah, this is the house that I want. You can see a lot of different C.A. Jones homes online. There are C.A. Jones homes all over the Metro East. Find out more about them if you've been thinking about building. cajonesinc.com.
Updating your home with James Hardie Siding has never been more popular. With all of the options available, you need a partner to maximize your investment. The rising prices on vinyl siding has made Hardie Siding a great alternative. Siding Express is ready to refresh the appearance of your home or totally transform the look by installing Hardie Shake, board and batten, lap siding, or a stone accent to make it your dream home again. Siding Express is an elite preferred James Hardie contractor. Need ideas? Go to sidingexpress.com and schedule a free, no-obligation consultation today.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
STL Today is named Under Law 2023's best St. Louis law firm. We'll continue to make a difference, one case at a time.
When you're injured, call Under Law at 314 or 618-9000000.
This is Kim St. Ange with the Mark Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk. I can see clearly now thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra with Ophthalmology Associates, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
You're invited to the Young Republicans Freedom Fest Barbecue. Mark Cox here. Join me October 8th in Fenton. Hear from several GOP power players fighting for the future of the Republican Party and help bring conservative values to Missouri. Learn more at 971talk.com/events.
This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want?
Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio. I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I started the School Choice Caucus in Congress. I started that because I looked back on my education experience as a kid. One of the things I understand as a kid growing up in poverty, you look at the lowest performing education systems, they're typically filled with kids that come from single-parent households in poverty. One of the ways that we level that playing field is to make sure that every parent has the resources to make the right decision for their educational path for their kid. That's why school choice is so important. Now, one of the ways that we can accomplish that as President of the United States, there are two major buckets of resources that go to the states. I would make those resources backpackable. In other words, wherever the kid goes, the money will follow.
So Senator Tim Scott, they're talking about his advocacy for school choice. And we've gone to Corey DeAngelis for a long time now to talk about school choice as a necessity for the future of our country. And as we bring Corey DeAngelis on the show, is a National Director of Research at the American Federation for Children, a Senior Fellow at Reason Foundation, Executive Director at the Educational Freedom Institute. I'm reading here, Corey, an article from within the last couple weeks from Vox. Brace yourself. The conservative push for school choice has had its most successful year ever. Congratulations, Corey DeAngelis. You're doing quite well for yourself.
Yeah, thank you so much. But it's really the left's fault for overplaying their hand by fighting to keep the schools closed. You had the teachers' unions embarrassing themselves for the past 3 years straight, with Randy Weingarten going to Ukraine in the middle of nowhere while she destroyed our school system. Haven't the Ukrainian kids had it bad enough? But look, this has supercharged the issue of school choice for us, and it has much more so become a GOP litmus test issue. That same Vox article, the leftist writer who works for Vox, not a conservative outlet at all, admitted that school choice has largely, he says, become a Republican litmus test issue. So I think this is why we're seeing so much success in red states, with 10 states controlled by GOP legislatures going all in, universal on school choice, giving every family the ability to, like Tim Scott said, take that funding with the portability or backpackability to go to a public, private, charter, or homeschool of their choice.
So, Corey, I want to ask you two questions, and I want to give you the heads up that I'm going to separate the two of these because there is so much political fallout from the push for school choice for everybody who is participating on both sides of the aisle, because people do have to take a position on this as an opportunity. But let's set the politics aside for right now, because my understanding, Corey, from having known you for quite some time and had many conversations with you as you've risen to be a leader, a thought leader on the issue of school choices, you're really advocating for all of this for the kids, not so that Republicans can do better at the ballot box. What is the distinguished difference that is provided to a child in the United States of America, in any of the 50 states, when they are afforded the opportunity for school choice, that the alternative, the current situation of public education, is keeping those individuals from succeeding?
Yeah, well, the government school system is a complete dumpster fire for too many kids all across the country, especially when you're looking at math or reading test scores. Even the U.S. history proficiency on the latest Nation's Report Card, only 13% of kids proficient in the U.S. on the U.S. history exam. I mean, it's total bonkers how bad the system has gotten academically, but it's also even worse than that. When you look at another dimension of school quality that's arguably more important, which is whether the school's curriculum aligns with families' values. And I think that's part of why it has become a GOP litmus test issue. These things are kind of related, right? That conservative parents started to see all of the woke garbage in the government school system, and they have woken up to that woke garbage, and they started to push back at school board meetings and at the ballot box too. And families just want the schools to focus on the basics, and they want to raise their kids in ways that are aligned with their own values. They don't want to send their kids to institutions for 13 years where they're being brainwashed to hate them and their way of life. But if you look at the results of the academic literature, the public schools even get better in response to competition. There's 29 studies on this topic. It's pretty well known and well established. Even the defenders of the government school system admit this fact, that 26 of 29 studies find that school choice competition leads to better outcomes in the public schools. I was just on a debate on TV last couple weeks ago, and one of the chief opponents of school choice, Josh Cowan, a professor at Michigan State University who went to private school himself, he's a total hypocrite on the issue. I got him to admit at the beginning of that debate that the evidence is clear that school choice is a rising tide that lifts all boats, taking away the defenders of the status quo's main argument that this is somehow going to hurt kids in the public schools. That's not the case at all. And if anything, it leads to better outcomes, not worse. And it obviously improves outcomes for the kids who use the programs because, well, look, their parents know their kids better than anyone else. They love their kids more than anybody else, and they have the most knowledge about what their kids need. So, of course, no one really disputes giving families a choice would improve their academic and character outcomes and getting the opportunity to go to a private school as well.
Yeah, it's always interesting to me that people, say we can't push the school choice thing. School choice does exist. I have school choice. I send my kids to a Lutheran school. Now, for my family, it's always been the most important to start the day off with Jesus. They learn about their Christian faith. That is the decision that we've made within our household for our kids. My kids have the ability to do that because my husband and I have been able to afford the choice to pay our taxes, our property taxes, and pay additional tuition to send them to a place that is educating in the line of thought that we want them to be educated in. There is there's a line dividing who can afford that and who can't right now. So the school choice, it does exist for anybody right now who can afford it. You would think that the people on the left, getting to the political side of this, you'd think that the people on the left would be looking out for the little guy to make sure that school choice was accessible to everybody.
Yeah, all this preaching about equity, they completely get silent when it comes to the government school system. They know there's inequities and segregation in the government schools. We have kids divided by different lines called district boundary lines, where if you live in one place, you can't go to that other so-called better public school because, well, you live in the wrong address. In fact, some families have actually gone to jail for sending their kid to a better public school by lying about their address in order to do so. And families have gotten fined for doing the same things as well. So school choice or funding students as opposed to systems, giving the money to the parents to decide for their own kids is an equalizer at the same time. So this is a win-win solution. It shouldn't be a left versus right issue, and it's not when you ask the voters themselves. The latest Real Clear Opinion research polling from this year found that 71% of Americans support the concept of school choice, with supermajority support among Republicans, Democrats, and independents. It just so happens that the Democratic politicians are owned by the teachers unions. Over 99.9% of the campaign contribution from Randy Weingarten's union, the AFT, went to Democrats in 2022, and it's been like that for over 3 decades now. The teachers union is basically an arm of the Democratic Party, and that's just the hypocrisy is on full display when you look at all of the school choice for me, but not for the elitism. The Chicago Teachers Union boss, Stacey Davis Gates, their government schools spend about $30,000 a year, and she said that she had to send her kid to a private school because of disinvestment. Well, guess what? Her son's private school is only about half of that amount, about $14,000 or $15,000 per year. So the money isn't the problem in the government schools. It's all about a monopoly creating perverse incentives to do the wrong thing as opposed to listening to parents and the needs of their children. And this hypocrisy isn't just among Democrats. I mean, you have Travis Clardy, a Republican representative or so-called Republican representative in the Texas House who votes against school choice, just posted a picture with Randy Weingarten's Texas Union, the Federation of Teachers. And he takes money from the teachers unions, voted against school choice, and his primary opponent, Joanne Schaffner, actually has school choice on her party platform. So there's a huge shakeup going on right now, and even the leftists at the New York Magazine admitted such after the midterms when they said, quote, "Education freedom candidates fared depressingly well in the midterms." So it's not just the right thing to do, but school choice is also a political winner because most people understand that parents are the best decision makers for their own kids. And most people don't believe this weird communist ideology that the kids belong to the government.
Yeah, we're speaking with Corey DeAngelis. He is a huge advocate for school choice, has been very successful in doing so. I'm going to read to you a comment we have here on our live broadcast on YouTube because, even being in this position myself, when I compare the amount of money that I spend in property taxes, I live in a good public school district. The amount that I spend in property taxes is actually pretty congruent to what it costs me to educate 3 kids in a Lutheran school. But here's a comment, somebody who's not really advocating for school choice, somebody listening to us right now. He said, send your kids to private schools, not on our tax dollars. What about my tax dollars?
I love this response from the Democrats usually because, look, that's their main knee-jerk reaction that, I paid for it myself. But what you want the taxpayers to pay for everything else. Why are you adopting this pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality that you just got to pay for it yourself? I mean, you have lefties who want free college and Pell Grants to go to public or private universities. They're fine with that. They're fine with it when it comes to the government or the taxpayer paying for pre-K, public or private. You can even go to religious pre-Ks with the Head Start program, for example, and they're all cool with that. But the only difference there with these levels of education is that when it comes to those in-between years of K-12 education, there's a difference in power dynamics. Choice is the norm for higher ed and pre-K and everything else in American society for the most part. But choice threatens and entrenched special interests, the teachers' unions who own the Democratic Party, only when it comes to those in-between years of K-12 education. And yes, just like you said, Annie, we do pay for it. We're paying for the kids in the government-run schools, and you shouldn't have to pay twice. That property tax money is meant for educating children, not for propping up and protecting a particular institution, whether that's public or private. That funding should go to the intended beneficiaries of the money, which happens to be the kids, not the unions.
Yes, my kids count too. And my tax dollars that I'm paying to educate kids in a public school system, why would my tax dollars not go to benefit my children while my children are of school age? Last question, Corey. Why, in a school choice environment, you're not saying that people couldn't choose the public schools?
Exactly. And the way that I like to put it is that if you like your public school, you can keep your public school.
Yeah, but for real this time.
Unlike with your doctor. Yeah. Unlike with your doctor, you can actually choose it. And the evidence shows the public schools improve. And their main argument against school choice is that this is going to hurt the public schools. It's going to defund them. Well, first of all, that's not true because the public schools get to keep thousands of dollars. They get to keep the local and federal money, even though the state portion follows the kid to the private school. So on a per-student basis, the public schools end up with more money. But more importantly, the defenders of the status quo are admitting that they aren't confident in what they're selling. Why would giving families a choice defund the public schools if they're doing a good job? If you're confident in your product, you'd have nothing to worry about.
Yeah. Amen. Corey, where do you encourage people to go to get to be a part of the fight for school choice to continue to terrorize the authors of Vox? Where can they go to be supported?
Yeah, you can follow me on X, or formerly Twitter. It's at DeAngelis Corey. Or if you want to help us in the fight for education freedom, you can actually take the Education Freedom Pledge, which is a very simple website. It's just educationfreedompledge.com. That way you can follow bills that are moving in your state to expand school choice to every family. We have a school choice revolution happening right now, and your state, particularly Missouri, needs to get on board soon.
Yeah, Corey, you are a fearless leader in this, and we are always grateful when you come and join us on the show to keep this topic top of mind. So thanks for being here again with us. Good to have you.
Totally. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Corey DeAngelis is the National Director of Research at the American Federation for Children. You can go to federationforchildren.org to learn more or follow him on Twitter at DeAngelis Corey X. Just doesn't seem right. I got to get used to that. Maybe. Let's take a quick break. Deroy Murdock has moved from Wednesday to Tuesday, so he's going to be with us when we come back, as we are going to be out at Ruler Foods tomorrow, broadcasting live in Collinsville, Illinois. Last year we were in the St. Charles Ruler Foods. This year we moved it on the Illinois side of the river. Had a lot of requests for that. So please prove me right that Illinois is the right place for us to be from time to time, and say hello during our live broadcast at Ruler Foods, noon to 3 tomorrow. And bring some diapers. Bring lots of diapers, whatever you can afford. You can buy them at Ruler Foods as well. We'll be back with Deroy Murdock when we return.
The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw, Tammy Kershaw, the Retirement Advisory Group, are inviting you to join them Tuesday, October 3rd. It's a week from today. October is a week from today. Well, 2 days ago. But I mean, still in a week, it'll be October. And I will be at the Plaza Frontenac from 6 o'clock to 6:30 to meet you. And I would love to say hello to you and to put some names and faces together while you take in this free event with Thomas Helbig, where he teaches you how to protect your retirement. He does these seminars throughout the year. This is the last one for 2023. So make sure you sign up and you get involved. All you got to do is give him a call at 314-993-9494, 314-993-9494, and sign up. There are snacks there. It starts at 6:30. I'm going to be there from 6 to 6:30 to say hello to you before the event begins. And then Thomas takes about 45 minutes of your time. It's not consuming your whole evening. You'll be done in a jiffy, and you'll have the knowledge you need to have to make sure that you can enter into that worry-free retirement the way you've always hoped to. Reserve your spot at 314-993-9494, online at retirementkey.com.
If you need a new bath or shower, call my friends at Bath Fitter of St. Louis. Mark Cox here. We love our new shower and tub enclosure. It looks fantastic. No demolition, no mess, and a lifetime guarantee. Right now, they're having a sale for 20% off up to $1,000 or zero interest until 2028. That's 5 years. Call 636-338-1648. That's 636-338-1648. Bath Fitter of St. Louis.
Get a pen. You'll want to take this number down. Okay, you have health insurance, or you don't have health insurance, but you want health insurance at a reasonable price, right? Well, you won't find it with Obamacare, where you can only sign up once a year with their high deductibles and limited networks. You need to talk to an expert. Kim Kiefer at H&L Agency can help. If you pay for your own health insurance, or your employment coverage is just unaffordable, or if you have a few employees, you could be saving 30 to 60% if you qualify. Couples under 65 are saving $500 to $1,000 a month with better coverage. Go to hnlagency.org and get a quote today. We all need quality health insurance at an affordable price. Call Kim at 800-975-2841. That's 800-975-2841. Or go to hnlagency.org. And is spelled out. That's hnlagency.org. A quality plan managed by you, not the government.
Your garage door is always there for you, rain or shine. Are you taking your garage door for granted? Is it screeching and whining for attention? Trust Overhead Door Company of St. Louis to keep your garage door reliable. Maybe the old weather stripping needs replaced to keep out the cold and hot air. Call Overhead Door Company of St. Louis, trusted here since 1926. For same-day service, call 314-781-5200 and schedule online at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall is just around the corner. Make sure your furnace is ready to safely heat your home when the first cold snap hits. For a heating system check, visit aircomfortservice.com.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
The Mark Reardon Show.
We're only a day away from the next big presidential debate on Fox Business. We'll get a preview on Tuesday afternoon.
Weekdays from 3 to 6 on 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show. Interact with Annie on Facebook. The Annie Frey Show.
Liquor was the only love I'd known. But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back.
So did you guys hear the U.S. Senate just eliminated its dress code because you got this guy from Pennsylvania who's got a lot of problems. I mean, let's just be honest, like how he got elected. Well, I mean, he got elected because they didn't want the alternative, but he wears like sweatshirts and hoodies and shorts, and that's his thing. So he would campaign in that, which is your prerogative, right? I mean, if that's what you want to do. But to show up in the United States Senate with that and not have the decency to put on proper attire, I think it's disrespectful to the body. And I think the fact that the Senate changed the rules to accommodate that, I think speaks very poorly to how they consider that. Look, we need this country, we need to be lifting up our standards in this country, not dumbing down our standards in this country.
Yeah, that's a pretty broad statement there from Ron DeSantis. We are constantly degrading standards, and it's really, at the root of it, it seems like every norm that we expect to follow, to rely on in a civilized society, the far aggressive political left is looking to turn inside out so that they can reset the system. It's pretty bizarre. And I don't know anybody who's looking at this dress code thing going, it's a great idea. Maybe Deroy Murdock loves it. I don't know what Deroy... Are you wearing a hoodie right now, Deroy? I got a question for you. I wish I were wearing a hoodie.
As it happens, I'm at home. I'm wearing a sweatshirt. So yes.
There you go. You're just taking the Fetterman route. I see.
Well, but on the other hand, I'm not on the floor of the United States Senate, so I think I get a little more slack when I'm in my apartment, on a rainy day, hiding from some rotten weather.
Yeah, for sure. What do you think about the Senate's willingness? I was listening to Brian Kilmeade. I can't remember who he was talking to, but there was somebody who was downtown New York and was going into the highest falutin restaurants in New York City dressed like Fetterman, asking for a table, and he got refused, like aggressively refused at all of these high-end restaurants because they didn't want somebody in there who was dressed like that. But now it's okay in the United States Senate.
Yeah, correct. That was a story in the New York Post by a friend of mine by the name of John Levine, who's a great writer for the New York Post, and he dressed up in his finest Fetterman attire. He was wearing a hoodie, shorts, and some tennis shoes. And he walked into tried to walk into Jean George, Daniel, a number of other very high-end restaurants where you're not going to get out of there for less than a couple $100s. And, you get the classic, can I help you? Which means I don't want to help you. It means turn around and leave. Yeah. And with one exception, he was told, you can't come in here dressed like that. You got to go home and put on, some pants and put on a collared shirt or a sweater at least, and not look like you just rolled out of the gymnasium or something like that. And these folks have a higher standard right now in restaurants in New York City than does the United States Senate, where you can show up and wear whatever you want. And in fact, Fetterman didn't just sit at his desk as a backbencher. He was actually last week the presiding officer. He was presiding over the United States Senate in kind of a sweatshirt, shorts, and sneakers. He was the presiding officer, sitting up there with the gavel. Unbelievable. Yeah. You think at least they'd say, all right, if you're going to dress like that, sitting back where nobody could see you. No, he's in front leading the Senate. Extraordinary.
Is it just about clothes? Is it wrong to think that this is broader than just what John Fetterman wears in the Senate in clothes?
Oh, it goes well beyond clothes. I think it's the left's, as you were saying in the introduction, their overall attack on standards. Whatever the standard is, rather than try to take people who may not be all that well off or maybe could be more educated and try to lift everyone up, their idea is to drag everybody down. So as a consequence, you'll see when it comes to college entrance exams, they'll say, well, let's just get rid of the SAT. Let's get rid of the standardized tests. Oh, let's get rid of report cards. Who needs report cards? Who needs grades? You've seen it the way people dress on airplanes. You've seen it the way people dress when they go out to theater. You see it in the idea of, you and I, imagine our listeners, when we go to stores and purchase things, we actually, give money to the cashier before we walk out the door. A lot of places now just go in, grab what you want, walk out the door. It's cool, society owes you stuff here in New York and I think in California, as long as you steal less than, I think it's about $930 in California. I'm not sure what the number is in New York. It's, winking and nod. Okay, whatever, cool, help yourself. And of course, I just saw, I think the figure came out today as a consequence of this attitude. This gets very expensive. I think it was last year retailers lost $112 billion in shoplifting. A lot of it done by organized criminals. So, whenever the left sees a standard, their idea is rather than lift people up to meet that standard, their idea is to drag that standard down to the lowest common denominator. And it's just part of their whole kind of socialist leveling philosophy.
Deroy, we had a man who ran for president who said he wanted to fundamentally transform the United States of America. And you don't do that through politics. I think you do it through culture. And this is a very, very, high level example of how culture has dramatically changed and our expectations. In a society where the only thing that matters is self all the time, that if you feel comfortable wearing a hoodie and gym shorts, then you should be able to do that anywhere. It discounts anybody else that exists in the world that will be in your presence. And the idea
That's
that you
right.
would present yourself for someone else when you have a completely self-absorbed culture, you can't have those types of standards. And when you have a completely self-absorbed culture, it seems to me it'd be easier to sell those people on political ideas, policy ideas that are always subsidizing the self. And the Democrat Party is always looking to give you another handout as long as you're willing to trade in just a little bit of your freedom each and every time.
I think that's part of it, and I just think when things are, dirtier, uglier, more chaotic and dangerous, the society in general just sort of slides. And I think this is part of what the left wants, is to make America not an exceptional, special country, that the greatest and most free and prosperous on earth, but just another country just like Swaziland or just like Indonesia or just like Bhutan or anywhere else you want to pick. Nothing special about the United States. So why dress up? Why look good? Why be presentable? When I was a kid, I used to get up, get dressed in the morning to go to school, and my mom would say, not every day, but about once a week, she'd say, "Okay, Deroy, you need to be presentable." Always the word presentable, not coat and tie, not tuxedo, but don't show up in rags. And, I do that. When I get an airplane, I don't necessarily wear coat and tie unless I've got a meeting right when I land. But, I'll put on a collared shirt. I'll wear a flannel shirt. I'll put on a sweater and trousers and, look like, more or less business casual, because I'm comfortable that way. And I don't want people looking at me going, God, that's disgusting. There are people when I'm on the plane, I can't even look at them. I avert my gaze because they're just grotesque. I remember this happened in Las Vegas. A friend of mine spent the weekend out there. He dropped me off at the airport. And there's some guy at the airport in cutoff shorts, barely, let's just say they're very immodest, flip-flops, untucked shirt, wild hair, looked like he hadn't shaved in weeks, tank top covered in tattoos. And I said to a friend of mine, I said, look what's happened to the American male, completely collapsed. Well, anyway, I get to the airport, get on the plane, walk down the aisle. Guess who's sitting right next to me in the middle seat? That guy. Of all the planes in the airport, he gets onto mine. Of all the seats on my plane, he gets the one next to me. Boom, there we are.
Yeah.
And I wish, the point is that, again, I didn't expect him to be, dressed for the opera, but I don't expect somebody to look like he just rolled off a garbage pile. And so I had to sit next to this guy from Las Vegas all the way back to Newark or JFK or wherever I was flying, and, not really be very happy or content or comfortable. So that's, and whereas if he'd actually, worn some proper clothing, I wouldn't have thought twice about it.
Like Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca, of all the airplanes and all the airports.
Yes, exactly.
You walked into mine. Deroy, I feel like there is still a yearning for some order that exists, but the disordered way of culture today is very trendy. Social media makes trends move at such a fast pace compared to the way they used to before. When I was growing up, I don't think we had the internet in our house until I was in junior high. And nobody knew what to do with it then, of course. But, when it comes to politics, though, it has a huge influence on how people's attention is grabbed. And, I have a feeling that as unkept as that gentleman made his appearance be in the airport, he was probably very aware that people would be looking at him, and he was probably very okay with it. How do you reestablish a sense of cultural order in a culture that is really just interested in everybody looking at themselves?
That's a good question. Well, fighting narcissism essentially is, I guess, what you're talking about, is a hard thing to do. I think you can be narcissistic and at the same time have a sense of elegance. And I think maybe what we should do is tell people, look, be elegant. If you want people to stare at you, let them stare at you because you dress well, rather than you dress, as a total slob. I'd much rather people say, oh, well, I want all eyes on me, somebody, the best dressed guy on the plane, or best dressed gal on the plane, or at the supermarket, or wherever it might be, and actually make an effort to look, clean and presentable. And, I go down the street and I try to dress nicely, especially when I'm on the air at Fox News. And, people sometimes will stop and say, hey, nice suit. Oh, that looks good. I like that tie. I enjoy that. I don't do it out of a sense of narcissism. I just know that television, unlike radio, is a visual medium.
We love your sweatshirt. Your sweatshirt looks great.
So maybe if people had a sense of, I want people to look at me and praise me for my elegant attire rather than look at me and, curl up their noses and go, God, that guy really needs to go back to the gym rather than walk on the sidewalks. Maybe it would be a better country if we had that kind of an attitude.
Deroy, it's certainly not a fashion statement for the Senate to bend all of these rules, to my understanding, still just for the senators, not for the lowly staff that have to serve them. But there has to be a political play. The people Chuck Schumer, the Democrats in the Senate, have to be thinking that this is somehow politically beneficial to them. Do you think that that's a good calculation on their part?
I don't think so. I think most people, whether you're talking crazy right-wingers or even crazy left-wingers, they expect our politicians to be presentable to some degree. And it's one thing if you're out, at a town hall and shaking hands, maybe you're more casual. But if you're on the floor of the People's United States Senate, this isn't their Senate, this is our Senate. We expect you to be in a coat and tie, or a dress or a pantsuit or something like this if you're a woman, and look like one of the 100 most elite lawmakers in America. This isn't some bowling alley. This is the United States Senate. You should dress accordingly. And I see that Dick Durbin, senator from Illinois, right next to where you are and where you live, you're a senator, and also Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia. Apparently, I think Manchin is interested in or thinking about introducing some measure or some resolution requiring the reinstatement of the dress code. And one thing I wrote about this, I did a piece on the Daily Caller and elsewhere you can look up about the dress code. The idea is that John Fetterman has had a stroke and he has trouble putting his clothes on, whatever it may be. You look at people like Bob Dole, who had a severely injured arm in World War II. Daniel Inouye, senator from Hawaii, his arm was blown off in fighting in World War II.
Tammy Duckworth. Yeah,
Tammy Duckworth is in a wheelchair. Max Cleland was hurt in Vietnam. He lost both legs and an arm. Okay, somehow, despite it can't be easy to get dressed when you have no legs and arm. That's got to be a really elaborate, painful process. Guess what? Those people managed to get it together. Bob Dole had an arm that hung there and didn't do anything. Inouye's arm was gone. These people all showed up in coats and ties, and Tammy Duckworth in dress or pantsuit, whatever she wears, and they don't blink about it. Now, if you're John Fetterman and you need some help, you get one of your aides and say, look, your job is to carry my bags around and do some research for me, work on my speeches, and every morning you come to my place, help me get dressed and help me get onto the Senate and look like a grown man, not like a dirty little boy. That's part of your job duties. And I think there are a lot of people who love that because you get to spend personal time with the senator. He becomes very reliant on you while you're getting him, helping him put his tie on. You can say, by the way, sir, here's an interesting opinion about the tax bill, or have you considered doing so and so on the agriculture bill? I mean, boy, you want to have an opportunity to get the ear of a lawmaker. You can spend 15, 20, 25 minutes, whatever it takes, to help him get dressed in the morning, and maybe drop him off and help him get out of his clothes and put his hoodie back on. That's should be a coveted position. I would think any young staffer would be delighted to be in that position. If that's what it takes for him to get dressed, then great. But when these other people, these war heroes, and either people even who are injured, not necessarily wounded in war, but still were disabled, were able to obey the dress code. What is John Fetterman's excuse? He's got both arms, he's got both legs, and he has use of them, maybe with some difficulty or challenge, but they're not completely paralyzed limbs as they were with other people. So if those people are able to do what everyone else did, he ought to be able to live by that same standard. I don't think that's asking too much at all.
I think about how razor thin the majorities are in both the House and the Senate. And we have seen a poll come out that suggests that Trump is up 9 points on Joe Biden. Before we take a break here, I wanted to give you the opportunity to tell us what your thoughts are on that poll. Is it a realistic viewpoint of where the American people are? And should the Democrats be concerned with Biden as their nominee?
Yeah, I'm writing about this, as a matter of fact, today. We heard all along, well, you vote for DeSantis or vote for Nikki Haley because Trump is just not electable. Well, he's looking more electable by the day. This Washington Post ABC poll came out on Sunday saying he's up. It was 10 points. Now I'm hearing 9. Maybe they recalculated or something. 9 points, 52-42 or 51-42. There was a poll last week, I think it was, not nationally, but looking at specifically swing states, Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, I believe. And Trump is up 6% in those states. And I did the math on this. That would give him 309 electoral votes versus 306 that Joe Biden got last time. You need 270 to win. So if Trump wins all the states that he won last time, Biden wins all the states that he won last time but loses those to Trump, it's Trump 309 electoral votes, which is 39 more than he needs to get back in the White House. He's looking more and more electable by the day.
Well, I think it's going to be an interesting 406 days, and we are looking forward to watching it unfold. And Deroy, we always appreciate your take, your willingness to take that strong stance, because a lot of people are thinking it. And Deroy, a lot of times you're the one saying it. We appreciate you being here again with us today.
Annie, thank you very much. See you soon.
Yep. Bye-bye. Bye. I think he's fine. He's in New York City, and I think those things happen. But Brad, maybe you can text him afterwards and say, everything good?
Okay.
He needs to make a phone call for you. We'll be right there. Deroy Murdock, nationally syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor. Always great to have him on the show. If you're watching in the breaks, you might have noticed we got a scoop on. Almost. That actually sounds better than it did before. I'm holding an Adam Wainwright guitar. Oh my gosh, this is the coolest thing ever. It's Adam Wainwright weekend in St. Louis. This is the coolest thing ever. These are the type of things, Brad, that I think you're supposed to hang on your wall and display.
Yes.
But I'm stubborn and I want to play it.
No, listen, the box comes with an extra guitar string and a pick.
Oh, there's a string?
Yes, there's a string and a pick in the guitar, so I think you're meant to play it.
I'm gonna.
Or at least try.
I'm gonna. I don't know what's gonna happen. But in the breaks, you will see me tuning this thing, and I got to play Take Me Out to the Ball Game by the end of this.
Oh, that will be amazing.
We'll see. We'll see if I can do it.
And we'll have Ryan sing it.
Yeah, that way you won't be able to tell if the guitar sounds bad or not. All right, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to be joined by my friends from the Retirement Advisory Group. I want to remind you of two things here real quick. First of all, in 1 week from today, the Retirement Advisory Group is having their Protecting Your Retirement educational event. It is at 6:30 p.m. at the Frontenac Hilton. I'm going to be there from 6 o'clock to 6:30 p.m. My son has a volleyball game at 4:30 in Illinois and another one at 7:30 in Illinois, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to make it happen. But I'm going to be there at 6 o'clock, and I would love to have a full house of Annie Frey Show listeners there. So I need you to call and sign up and reserve your spot. You can call them at 314-993-9494. You can learn more at retirementkey.com. The second thing I want to tell you is that tomorrow we're going to be broadcasting live from Ruler Foods in Collinsville. It's the diaper drive with Princess Storm at Hot 104.1. Our effort to fully support what she is doing over there at Hot 104.1 to raise as many diapers as we possibly can for those St. Louis babies in need. They service the whole greater St. Louis area, and you can be a part of something amazing with us tomorrow from noon to 3 at Ruler Foods in Collinsville. Let's get the Hell Big folks in here in just a minute.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show on St. Louis's home for conservative talk. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
AirComfortService.com. They have all of your needs for your furnace maintenance that you might need to be doing when you reach out to Air Comfort Service. Whatever your concerns are, they're going to be able to guide you in the right direction to make sure that your furnace needs are taken care of. But let me talk to you about something else you might not have thought about. As the air outside gets cold, the air inside gets dry. Have you experienced this? We have in our house because my son, super prone to nosebleeds. My daughter, as she's gotten a little bit older, has gotten them somewhat as well. I remember when I was a kid getting nosebleeds all the time in the winter. This can often be a symptom of having really dry air in your home. We know it's a matter of time before we're changing our thermostats over from cooling your home to heating your home, and the air during the fall and winter months becomes very dry. Your heating system is running. It makes the air inside your home even drier, which can cause uncomfortableness for you and for your family, like those nosebleeds that we have in the Frey house, dry, cracked, and itchy skin, static shocks, wood furniture, floors cracking as you're walking across them. You want to make sure that you don't have this issue in your house anymore. So you can get a whole home humidifier from Air Comfort Service. This whole home humidifier will get you back in your comfort zone by adding moisture to the air throughout your home with that whole home humidifier. Reach out to them at 314-513-0091 and ask them about how a whole home humidifier might benefit you and your place today. 314-513-0091. Easy to find online as well at aircomfortservice.com.
2 questions. Do you have a small business? Great. And do you have 5 minutes? Even better. You've got everything you need to start an application for quick, hassle-free financing from Capitus. We've helped more than 50,000 small businesses just like yours get competitive financing and the working capital they need in as little as 1 day. So, don't wait. Skip the red tape and get a decision today. Apply at capitus.com/radio. Go to kapitus.com/radio.
Tony La Russa here. Has your loss of energy and weight gain thrown you a curveball in your relationship? If so, go see my friends over at Victory Men's Health. Discreet first-class professionals will help you hit those curves out of the park. VictoryMen'sHealth.com. That's VictoryMen'sHealth.com.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-652-5241 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-652-5241. That's 800-652-5241. What do you have to lose? Call 800-652-5241. Again, 800-652-5241.
Listen to live Black Ad-free audio from every major league club.
And Aaron Judge with some thump.
Stream video of minor league games.
That's a go-ahead grand slam.
And watch the best baseball highlights and look-ins on MLB Big Inning. The all-new At Bat is your all-in-one live baseball subscription for only $3.99 per month.
There she goes. Home run. Pete Alonso.
Subscribe to At Bat within the MLB app today.
Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness 101 for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness 101. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
Do you want to hear what an absolutely fantastic free guitar sounds like? Then stick around because I think we're going to make Brad play and Annie and see. Let's just do a battle of the bands in the 2 o'clock hour. Does that sound good?
We need band names.
Yeah, we'll come up with band names too. We will. My band name is going to be 150 in St. Louis. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The voice for hardworking, free-thinking Americans.
St. Louis's home for conservative talk.
You're listening to 97.1 FM Talk. This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I've got friends in the studio. This is very exciting. No, I'm not talking about Ryan Wiggins. I said friends. We've got Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw in here. And Ryan's my friend, too. Although he did just put me up to a battle of the bands. That was on point. How are you guys doing?
We're great. Thanks for having us.
How's the economy doing?
Economy? Well, everybody watched, what's his name, Powell with the Fed talk last week. The markets are tanking.
Yeah.
The Dow's down. It was down about 400 points. The S&P's down about 69 points. Because the Fed has to continue raising rates. Inflation is not getting under control. It's rising again.
So,
which are making the markets go crazy.
It just seems very uncertain, and we're still in the wake, I suppose, of COVID shutdowns and stuff. I don't know how long those ripples will continue to affect things, but what it does show me
I think we're in the wake of the current administration.
Well, there's a lot of that too.
Yeah, too.
But what it all comes together, it all culminates in uncertainty. And if you're me and I'm 39 years old, unless I'm wrong,
you have time on your side.
My job is to just keep saving and keep my head down and keep working and stay employed.
Yes.
Right.
If you're somebody who is at the end of your 50s, in your 60s, and you're like, oh my gosh, I need to not crater right now in my retirement. I need to make sure it's protected. That's when you go see Thomas Helbig.
Absolutely. Absolutely. This is the time. And come out to see, this is our last event of the year, next Tuesday, a week from today, 6:30 at the Plaza Frontenac. We talked about this at the last live event. There's a new investment strategy, and folks, please listen up. Come to this event to learn this, especially the way the markets are going over the next year. We're going to be an election year, so more volatility. Mm-hmm. Here's how this new investment strategy works. There are no fees right off the bat. Number one, we're going to link to the S&P 500, and over the next year, if the S&P 500 shows any positive growth for that year, doesn't matter how much, even if it's 1%, your account is going to be credited with a 9% return. No downside risk. If the markets end up down, the S&P ends up down, you'll get a 0% return. No loss of principal, no fees. Folks, you got all upside, no downside. Come learn about this strategy.
So, Bob, when you are in a position to have these people who come, it's free, it doesn't cost you anything, and they have snacks. There are cookies and treats and coffee and drinks.
Exactly.
And it's free to go, so those are free snacks, and I'll be there.
And more importantly, you get to come and you get to hear about these strategies that you don't hear about. You're not going to hear about this from your Wall Street broker. We're going to not only educate you on these new strategies, but on how to save you from all the fees that you're currently paying. We're going to teach you how to get rid of those too, folks. And we were saying, as Thomas said, election year's coming. So the markets, it's already on its way down. It's going to get worse. I just have to tell people, don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait till you've lost 30 or 40% of your life savings to make a move. And this is the last one of the year. But if you can't make it, that's okay. Call us, 314-993-9494, or go to retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com, and schedule your free one-on-one with us.
Thomas,
free retirement review.
Yes.
You do what? How many of these do you do a year? 6?
We
7?
do 5 a year.
5?
5 a year.
And we've filled the room each time, so there is limited seating. People need to reserve their spot, but what you sit and you explain to them. One of the things I appreciate the most about what you do is you spend about 45 minutes.
That's it. 45 minutes. You'll be in and out.
And
that's it.
And when you're talking to them, you're explaining your approach and how it affects those individuals. These are people that are 59, in their
nearing
60s.
retirement or already retired. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Talk to me about if you've already retired, is it the same as if you're about to retire?
Absolutely, because in retirement, you're no longer feeding money into that account. You're drawing money out to live off of. So a volatile market affects it that much more. Your retirement account, if you're pulling money out to live on and the market's going down, you're eating away that principal and you're still paying fees. So that's how people run out of money in retirement. We want to show you how to protect your retirement, never lose any of your principal or your previous gains, and how to avoid the fees.
The Retirement Advisory Group is having their Protecting Your Retirement educational event. And the reason why I like to talk about this is because I'm going to be there.
You'll be there, Mark will be there, and the other Mark will be there. It's a family, it's a fun night.
6 o'clock is when I show up, and I'll be there till 6:30 when the event actually begins. We hand it over to Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw. Tammy will be there as well, and the folks at the Retirement Advisory Group. So you can get there. It's at the Frontenac Hilton, the Plaza Frontenac Hilton. Super easy to get to. As I said, snacks are provided. Costs you nothing. And you get to listen to people who I've trusted. I've been so grateful to partner with the Retirement Advisory Group as sponsors of this show. And the 97.1 audience has responded very well to what you guys have to offer. I get compliments on your guys' service, what you're able to provide them.
And again, once again, none of our clients have ever lost a penny. And folks, we will not lose any of yours either. So come learn these strategies.
What's that, Bob?
I said it's been 37 years.
37 years we've been doing this.
All right. Well, reserve your spot at 314-993-9494. Call 314-993-9494 and sign up. It doesn't cost you anything, doesn't last a long time, but you get a lot of information. You can make a decision for yourself afterwards if you'd like to set up a personal conversation with the folks at Retirement Advisor Group. You guys
or go to online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
All right.
Thanks for having us.
You're
Annie.
welcome.
Annie.
Thank you for being in here. We appreciate it.
We appreciate you.
Thank you. I love our partnership. We're going to take a quick break. The YouTube live chat poll, go vote in it right now. If it were up to you, would Donald Trump participate in the debates? Yes or no? We'll be back with the results in about an hour and some fun on the way.
Your home has made you equity rich on paper, and you're planning on using that cash to retire, travel, or just downsize into a new place that's paid off. Good for you. But the longer you wait, the greater chance higher interest rates could chip away at your home's value. While your home value is still high, the time to act isn't now. With TrueHold. Truehold buys your home now, and you can stay in your home for as long as you want. Truehold buys your home for its best current value, and you bank the cash. Cash to do whatever you like, while Truehold takes care of property taxes, insurance, and upkeep. Don't miss this opportunity to cash in on your equity and stay in your home as long as you'd like as a renter. Visit Truehold.com and discover how much Truehold will buy your home for today based on its best current value, not what's coming. Call 1-855-300-9993 or visit Truehold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out on your home's value without having to move. That's Truehold.com.
Replacing your windows should be stress-free and add value to your home. Infinity from Marvin Windows are your best choice. Made with Ultrex fiberglass, 8 times stronger than vinyl, low maintenance and available in many colors. And we leave your home spotless. Schedule your free design consultation by calling Lakeside Renovation and Design at 636-978-5000 or online at lakesiderenovationanddesign.com.
Hi, this is Brian with Velocity Home Buyers, and I buy houses cash. If you own a house and want to sell it fast at a fair price, call me at 314-782-3333. I can pay cash and close in as little as 7 days. I buy houses in any condition and any price range in the St. Louis area. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. I buy inherited houses, divorce houses, behind in payment houses. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Do you own a house that needs updating, but you don't have the time or money for it? Great, because I love buying outdated houses. I buy vacant houses, job relocation houses, and foreclosure houses. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me at 314-782-3333. That's 314-782-3333.
Start your Amazon business.
Hey everyone, Ryan and Karen Pottinger here.
Because of the wholesale formula, last year we ran our business while we traveled to and lived in 4 different countries.
In 2020, Americans made $50 billion selling on Amazon. Join America's Amazon expert, Dylan Frost, where anyone can learn how to start an Amazon business for only $49.99 guaranteed or your money back. Attend the Wholesale Formula 2-hour seminar Saturday, September 30th, 11 a.m. at the Aviator Hotel, Lindbergh Boulevard, St. Louis, Missouri. Register at thewholesaleformula.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio. 97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
The president takes union support on the road. On Lisa Brady, Fox News. He hit the picket lines in Michigan as a UAW strike continues.
President Biden flanked by UAW leadership at a GM parts warehouse in Van Buren Township, telling striking workers that the big 3 automakers should give them what they're asking for.
You deserve what you've earned, and you've earned a hell of a lot more than you're getting paid now. Thank you.
Ford, GM, and Stellantis have pushed back on the UAW's demands of a 40% pay hike, 32-hour work week, and other benefits. The president's visit to the picket line also a fight for votes, and comes a day ahead of a visit from former President Donald Trump, who said that Biden's EV mandates will annihilate the U.S. auto industry and cost countless jobs.
Fox's Jeff Manasso. Earlier, the president posting a video urging House Republicans to get the job done and keep the government open.
Speaker McCarthy says the House will vote tonight on a rule to bring 4 spending bills to the floor.
That would be 72% of all the discretionary spending of the 12 bills that need to get taken up.
The speaker also says he would bring a short-term spending bill to the House floor to, quote, secure the border, but didn't have specifics on what it looks like or if he has the votes to pass it. He wouldn't say what his plan was if the bills failed.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill. A handful of House Republicans oppose a short-term bill, but attaching a border proposal could cost Democrat support. Amazon is being sued by the Federal Trade Commission in 17 states, accusing the e-commerce giant of antitrust activity, keeping prices artificially high and hurting rivals. Amazon's general counsel accusing the FTC of radically departing from its mission of protecting consumers, also arguing the company has helped to spur competition and innovation. The head of the FCC says she'll move quickly to reinstate landmark internet rules rescinded during the Trump administration, and the Democrats have taken back the majority control. America's listening to Fox News.
Hi, I'm Martha Stewart.
Every year, more than 4 million pets enter shelters here in the United States. My friends at American Humane have been helping animals since 1877. The goal is to ensure that pets have a safe shelter, especially during natural disasters. Adopting a shelter pet allows shelters to help more animals awaiting care. Please consider adopting today and take some time to learn more about American Humane's other work at americanhumane.org.
A lot of schools talk about training the cybersecurity workforce of the future, but do they really deliver? My Computer Career has been supplying the IT workforce with thousands of skilled, certified pros for 15 years. Train with the experts in support, networking, or cybersecurity and start your career in months, not years. Upskill even faster. On campus or live online. Qualified students may get financial aid, including the GI Bill. My Computer Career. Accredited, acclaimed, effective. Take the free career evaluation at mycomputercareer.edu.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Partly sunny skies and our temperatures stay above average by about 5 to 8 degrees. 85 this afternoon, just a tiny chance of a spot shower. Tough to find. Tonight, clouds. A couple of showers here and there. Very limited. 62 Wednesday, kind of the same story. Partly sunny skies, maybe a spot shower. 82 degrees on Wednesday. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, Chad Hansen with Hansen's Tree Service. If your trees are looking sick or if you have insects that aren't welcome in your landscape, Hansen's can help. Our plant healthcare program offers tree and shrub fertilization as well as pest management to maintain a great-looking landscape. Check us out at hansenstree.com.
Selling your home? Every situation is unique. Find the best options that are right for you from the real estate team who offer more options. My friends Mark and Neil Gelman of eXp Realty. Check out the only agents I trust. Go to thegelmanteam.com. That's thegelmanteam.com.
Gateway ENT is where you go to get those ear, nose, and throat concerns that have been plaguing you taken care of once and for all. You can go online to gatewaydoctors.com. That's gatewaydrs.com and schedule an appointment. They can get you in fast. I know a lot of people will put off getting care like this because you're like, gosh, they're not going to be able to see me. They're probably not taking patients right now, or maybe you need a referral. Call them, and you will be surprised at how fast you can get in and how simple they are to work with to make sure you can get to the bottom of what is causing you that sinus congestion or issues that you've been facing, or maybe a ringing in your ears. Whatever you are dealing with, may not have to, and you can figure that out by going to Gateway ENT. Call to schedule an appointment today by calling 314-843-3828. 314-843-3828. Tell them the Annie Frey Show sent you and ask for one of the amazing ENTs there at Gateway ENT. Find them online right now at gatewaydrs.com.
I'm Brian Westbrook with Coalition Life. Over the past decade, Coalition Life has served thousands of women in crisis pregnancies, helping to save the lives of the children they carry. Help us build a better community while also reducing or completely eliminating your Missouri taxes with a 70% tax credit. A $1,000 donation today to help these women could cost you as little as $141 out of pocket. Learn more at coalitionlife.com, coalitionlife.com. Thank you.
Now is the time to replace your home's exterior during Banner Construction's 30th anniversary with same as cash financing. Beautify the exterior of your home and save with famous James Hardie siding and Pella windows. James Hardie looks and feels like real wood with no maintenance. Call now for special financing. Let Banner Construction's exterior design team give you a free quote. Call 314-569-1050. That's 569-1050 or online, bannerconstruction.com. And have a banner day.
Exergen thermometers are a top choice of medical professionals at highly ranked hospitals across the U.S. Accuracy matters, so make Exergen the chosen thermometer for your home and family. Available at Walgreens and other participating retailers. Learn more at Exergen.com.
This is Kim St. Ange with the Mark Cox Morning Show on 97.1 FM Talk. I can see clearly now thanks to Doctors Birdie and Malhotra with Ophthalmology Associates, and you can too. Go to youridoc.com today or call 314-966-5000.
You could be watching this right now. Tune into the Annie Frey Show live stream. YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Twitter. You know what? Just type in Annie Frey Show live stream. This hour of the Annie Frey Show is brought to you by Ruler Foods. Low prices, no coupons. Ruler Foods.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
Right? You need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Can you do Wiggins America again while I tune this guitar? I think that's a special treat.
No, but I can do another Wiggins America. I'm not just going to redo the same content. That's an insult to the people. Let's talk about the polls. It doesn't sound great. Why don't you come in here and I'll come in here?
I hope that they're not looking to make cuts at the station right now.
Management's in town. They're going,
walk
which
in the
show could we
cafeteria.
hack up a little bit? This one
They
seems
walk
like a
in the
good
cafeteria
candidate.
and they hear, E.
Oh, that must be one of your music stations. No.
Yes, this is Y98 live right here. That is an E. Oh, close. I mean, E sharp.
Annie's been trying to tune that guitar like you tried to tune a guitar whenever you picked up your wife.
I was thinking about you, and I was kind of curious how this actually worked.
That's exactly
I'm
how it works.
talking about how it worked to get Katie to marry you. Because
Whoa.
I don't feel very successful yet, although this is the coolest looking little. I mean, at the end of the day, this is about hanging it on your wall, and it's a cool souvenir. It's the Adam Wainwright Cardinals giveaway this weekend as St. Louis bids farewell to, honestly, I would say one of the greatest St. Louis and baseball players that we've ever had.
One of 3 pitchers in the organization's history that has achieved 200 wins.
I will call him a St. Louis, and he's a Georgia boy, but I'm just sticking with it.
No, he's St. Louisan.
Yeah, for sure. Is this string on upside down? I think it is.
It might be. That might be a factory defect.
No.
I bet the factory that put those together was really concerned with the way they sounded.
I legitimately was trying to tune this, and I'm like, golly, somebody had to put all these strings on all of these guitars.
You know what we
What
need
a
to
nightmare.
see from this Hall of Famer over Adam Wainwright weekend is if he does one of his patented concerts, he needs to do it with that guitar.
There is a promo that they have running where he opens this box and gets to see this really cool looking guitar, and he kind of strums it, and you can tell he's like, I don't know if I should do this. And then he strums it. And that was actually the best it sounded so far.
Well, yeah, great.
I said it's relative.
Yeah.
And it didn't sound. He's like, okay, we need to tune it. But it came with a pick and an extra string. And I haven't busted one of these strings yet. This one right here is the G string.
I want to see not only that promo video, but the one where he does a 2-hour set covering the best of the Eagles.
On this thing?
On that.
You would have to have like
Hotel
little
California.
Barbie-sized fingers to be able to do that. I would assume that Adam Wainwright has sizable hands to be able to pitch and throw curveballs the way he does. This is very tiny, and you can't have overflow on your fingers touching. Here's a C. Here's a D. My dad is so ashamed right now. He's the one who taught me how.
Come on, let's hear it.
Your dad, what about the program director?
Steve didn't teach me how to play guitar. I know how to play guitar. I don't know how to play this guitar yet, but I will. I don't know what song I'm going to play first, but it's probably going to have 2 chords, and it might only be played on the last 3 strings, which is the only ones that'll hold the tune.
Those aren't even out yet, right? Those are being given away this weekend?
Chris Ranji from KLX, our sister station over there, came in and gifted one of these to Brad, and I'm like, do you have another one? And he's like, we have one more. And I just put on my biggest, the Puss in Boots, and and he said, we have one more, and I got it. I'm not an asker of things, but if I ask for something like that, I really, really want it.
I know that, and when I was talking with Ranji about this...
Are you going to claim the credit here?
You know he is.
No.
Oh, here we go.
I had almost nothing to do with this. A tiny little part, I guess, now that you mention it. But when he asked me if I wanted it, I said no, but I know who does. It's Brad Range.
It's Brad. Did he ask you if you wanted it?
Yeah. And when we walked in here, Brad was very excited about it.
Uh-huh.
And then I told him as we left to go get yours, that is the most excited I've ever seen Annie Frey.
Really? What I see? Really?
Yeah. Because you do not ask for things ever. You never put yourself out there in a way that you might get denied. Because it would be embarrassing if it was like, no, I just gave it to Brad. No, I don't have one. Only Brad gets one.
You're saying this seriously, though.
Yeah.
Because I don't ask for things.
I know. I'm not joking.
A lot of what comes along with radio, what you lack in pay, you usually get in free stuff. And that has dramatically changed over the last 10 years. Now it's just the pay. And you get concert tickets or baseball tickets or, go to the St. Louis City game. We're huge fans of St. Louis City here. I don't really do a lot of that stuff. And there are people who really love it. And I don't ever want to take an opportunity away from somebody else that would really love it, because there's going to be a part, if there's an event to go to, there is going to be a very traumatic 60 minutes where it's like, I could have just stayed at home.
Mm-hmm.
That's the alternative. I could have been at home in my sweatpants, sitting with my kids, and not trying to find a parking space in downtown St. Louis where you feel like you have to walk very quickly to get from A to B.
You're right. I do the same thing, not just with not wanting to go to things anymore, but with thinking, I don't want to take it from somebody who really, really would want it. And I hate to tell you that guitar, if you had not taken that was going to a child in Eastern Romania. Very, very poor child.
They don't even know. They don't even know who Adam Wainwright is.
They were going to learn. It was going to be a beautiful teaching moment.
I don't think so. I don't think it would have meant anything to that child in Eastern Romania. They're like, I can't eat this.
Well, that's true. But
do you guys know that Eastern Romania is poverty-stricken, or are you just guessing?
I am taking a big leap here.
Yeah.
I'm sure there is a child in Eastern Romania who is poor.
Exactly.
I don't know what the economics of the area is like.
It doesn't necessarily have to be poverty-stricken for there to be people who are in poverty there.
That's exactly right. And that's what I'm going to think of every time I see that guitar now, unfortunately.
Dash wants to know if I know how to play a ukulele. I do. I wish this were a ukulele, but it is a small guitar. I play a little guitar.
That's such a bad joke. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's usually a joke that you say about a ukulele, but a ukulele is a ukulele. It's not a guitar. There's a little guitar. I play a little one. Not well. That's upside down. Can you play any instruments, Brian Wiggins?
No, I can't. I can play
read
a triangle, maybe.
Can you read music?
No. I'm like Insane Clown Posse, though. Because they can't read music either, and they're clearly high-level musicians.
Just kind of sounds like noise.
They were on a radio show one time. I had a friend who was really into ICP at the time. And I'm like, dude, do you have your Fago? And he was like, shut up. And so, I know. And so
I don't speak the language.
He's like, listen to this interview with them. They're really cool. And so I did. And they were saying, somebody asked them in the interview, do you know how to read music? And they go, oh, you mean like those little notey things?
Are they sober when these questions were being asked?
I have no idea.
Is there an ICP song that I know?
No.
No, I don't think so. I'd be hard-pressed to name one now. It's been so long. But there were songs that maybe you might recognize. I don't know.
No.
I don't know.
No. ICP barely made it into my world, and that's because whenever I was in high school, my friends were really bizarre.
They were juggalos?
Like two of them were.
Do you think Annie was a juggalo, maybe?
Is a juggalo different than a gigolo? I know what that is.
It is different.
Oh. Could you be both?
I don't think so, because
why?
One of them
why are they
probably got a lot of action.
Wouldn't
the other one did not.
Wouldn't a juggalo that's a gigolo just be a gigolo that also enjoys Insane Clown Posse?
I think you can be a gigolo that dresses like a clown, but it would be a weird profession. It would be a real niche in that arena.
I think the brass at Odyssey are going, play that E again. E. Like I said, this is Y98.
Yeah.
I have nothing.
Yeah, I can tell. You really want me to do the polls or what?
No, I had things, but then I got this guitar.
I know. Yeah, you really, really like that guitar.
This is a KMOX raunchy plot to make my ratings go down.
Yes, it is.
It's a good one.
It's working.
Well played.
They have ones that sound great. The ones they gave you cannot be tuned.
You know, you got to think Adam Wainwright got a full size, he's got a Martin sitting somewhere that looks just like this. That sounds great.
It'd be cool because it has his picture on the back.
Yeah. It's a very pensive photograph of him.
Yeah, it is. He's wearing flannel.
Mhm.
He looks a little bit like me.
No,
maybe not.
I mean,
whenever is it not one of the weirdest things whenever a play, because you'll see this all weekend with the Adam Wainwright stuff, the team and other teams will give him gifts.
Oh, yeah,
and
they
give
did that
these
for
players.
Pujols and Molina last
yeah,
year.
but isn't it weird? Like every time I see that, I'm going, do they really not have a golf bag? You know, I mean, it's neat, but you're going, what can you get this guy?
You're thinking of people who have a golf bag.
I've seen Pujols golfing. I know
Correct.
that he's a golfer.
But he probably has golf clubs and golf bags in multiple locations.
Ooh.
And so having another one might mean that you have a different set of clubs at a different home or a different place in storage so that when you visit there, you're ready to play.
Not to put you on the spot.
Chuck S says Wiggins would now want the guitar if he knew they were already listed as a pre-sale at eBay for $100.
That's a fact. That already crossed my mind, but that ship has sailed when I said yes to my friends.
You can steal Brad's. This is mine. I'm not even putting
may
it
do
back
that.
in the
you can
box.
attempt to steal Brad's.
What was it? Were you gonna ask me a question?
What would you get if you're in charge of that aspect of the Cardinals or whatever, or a team? What do you get? I mean, really, is there like a standard thing? You're like, oh, I know this is the perfect thing to get a multimillionaire.
I would.
He has everything.
Yeah, I would find out what their heart project is and support it. Adam Wainwright's big league impact. I've talked about this before. It makes a big league impact. I think it's a water initiative for people to get clean water, among other things. And I would do something to elevate that profile as much as I possibly could, and then make a really fat donation to it.
Dang, that's a really good idea.
Thank you.
I would have gotten him like a cheese set.
A cheese?
Yeah.
That's not even a real thing.
Some crackers
You don't
on a
get set
charcuterie
of
board.
cheese.
Jelly of the month.
It'd be
club.
a cheese board, a cheese plate. You don't get a cheese set. Did you mean chess?
No. I did not mispronounce chess. Oh, is that how you say that?
What is
I've
it?
always been calling
A
it.
chess set made out of
I'm a
Gouda.
master level cheese player. I love that St. Louis
you
is the
are.
cheese capital of the world.
You are. Step aside, Mequan.
I can't beat the AI cheese though. I'm an idiot. I'm a complete idiot.
I don't even know what this segment was, but that was the conclusion of it right there.
That was your out, Brad.
We've arrived.
No, you play us out. We don't even need bump music.
This is me.
Oh, this is.
I just need a little me time. Yep, it is. I love NF. Not Eminem, but he sounds like it. And this dude's a Christian if you're looking for good rap for the kids in your family. And F. And for the adults. I love to run to this. We'll be right back with something likely more productive. It would be hard to not. Stick
Only
around.
up from here.
The YouTube live chat poll. If it were up to you, would Donald Trump participate in the debates? Yes or no? Tell us. We'll be right back.
Searching. What does that mean, Nate? I've been learning.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
When I lose sight, life gets blurry and things might hurt me. It's probably gonna be a long journey, but it's worth it though. Cold world out there, kids. Grab your coat. Spend a minute, I know. Now I'm back to Rome, looking for the antidote to crack the code. Pretty vivid, I admit it. I'm in classic mode. Don't need pity given to me, but I can't condone. Talking down to me, I'ma have to crack your nose for cracking jokes. I'm looking for the map, the hope. You see me? Been making a whole lot of changes. Wrote a song about that. You should play it. I get scared when I walk on these stages. I look at the crowd and see so many faces. Yeah, that's when I start to get anxious. That's when my thoughts can be dangerous. That's when I put on my makeup and drown in self-hatred. Forget what I'm saying and where the beat go?
Window World, simply the best for less. If you're looking for windows to replace in your home, I want you to give Window World a try. You can go onto their website at windowworld.com and learn all about how they are the sought-after replacement windows for people just like you who are looking to upgrade the windows in their house that have deteriorated and you know you need to make the investment. You can call them at 314-993-1800. That's 314-993-1800 and set up a free home estimate, and they'll show you how they are simply the best for less. If you already have Window World windows, remember that Window World can also do siding and entry doors. They offer 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit. So when you reach out to them, they've got ways to make getting all of the windows replaced in your home a little more affordable. Or if you're just looking to do one or two, they understand that as well, and they're looking forward to your phone call. Call 314-993-1800 and get that free in-home estimate today. Give them a call, look them up at windowworld.com, and find the easiest way to get windows replaced in your home that are simply the best for less. Windowworld.com.
What's up, everybody? I'm Danny Parkins, based out of Chicago. This is my buddy Andrew Filipponi. He's based out of Pittsburgh. You really got to check out our podcast, First and Pod.
Twice a week, we're going to break down the NFL after Thursday Night Football and Sunday Night Football. It's every team. It's every game. It's all 32 teams. We give you a complete picture, and we get into it. We don't kiss each other's fannies on this show.
New episodes of First and Pod available when you wake up every Monday and Friday morning throughout the football season in the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Mark Cox here. Selecting the right real estate agent to sell your home is the single most important factor when selling a house. Imagine needing heart surgery. Would you choose a surgeon who performs hundreds of successful surgeries a year or one with minimal experience and mediocre success rates? Selling your home is like doing open heart surgery on your finances. That's why I recommend you call Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty and get to know her like I have. Gloria will give you multiple selling options when selling your home. For 20 years, she's been helping home sellers just like you get the most money for their home. Listen, experience, a proven track record, and guarantees matter when you're relying on an agent to get you the most money in the least amount of time. Selling your home, there's only one call you should make. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. That's GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
What's your favorite four-letter word? Chances are you've said it more than a few times dealing with this crazy world we live in. But at Compass Retirement Solutions, our four-letter word of choice is hope. Hope for a better tomorrow. And hope that your retirement plans don't take a back seat. You've watched inflation soar, and maybe your retirement future feels a little uncertain right now. But all hope is not lost. Find out exactly how much risk you're still taking with your investments. Find out how you may be able to save big on taxes. And find out how having a written retirement plan just might give you the hope you've been looking for. Call today to set up a meeting. 314-373-1598. That's 314-373-1598. Compass Retirement Solutions. 314-373-1598. Firm offers insurance services but does not provide tax advice. Investments and services offered through Compass Retirement Group, a registered investment advisory firm in Missouri and Illinois. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal.
If you need a new bath or shower, call my friends at Bath Fitter of St. Louis. Mark Cox here. We love our new shower and tub enclosure. It looks fantastic. No demolition, no mess, and a lifetime guarantee. Right now, they're having a sale for 20% off up to $1,000 or zero interest until 2028. That's 5 years. Call 636-338-1648. That's 636-338-1648. Bath Fitter of St. Louis.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Save $50 to over $1,700 in Carrier Cool Cash rebates on qualifying HVAC equipment now through November 18th. For a free estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
There's a music station that fits your taste at Odyssey.com. Download the app for instant access to hundreds of music stations and listen live to 97.1 FM Talk. The Odyssey app. Download it or stream from 971talk.com. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter at Annie Frey Show.
Guitar from Adam Wainwright, and now Ryan has a Timmy trumpet. Go ahead and show the folks what you can do. Wow.
What was that face he made?
Why did you look at me like that?
I thought you'd be proud. I thought you'd be proud of me.
Holy cow.
Man, radio is weird. That's something else. Did you hear Deroy talking about the dress code in the Senate? We haven't really gone all in on the dress code in the Senate, mostly because there are things that sometimes come across my desk and everybody is talking. Get it together, Ryan. Everybody is talking about it, and it's like, what is left to be said? The Senate dress code, I think so many people are like, obviously the senators should look nice. Did you hear that John Levine New York Post conversation with Brian Kilmeade? It was a couple days ago. What is today? Tuesday? It was yesterday. It was
Man,
yesterday.
I know. It seems like it should be Wednesday
Yeah.
or Thursday at
This
least.
day has been a week long. I was listening to it. I was so interested in it because it's such a good point. John Levine went into the highest end New York restaurants dressed as John Fetterman, essentially, and he got turned away at basically all of them.
Oh, yeah, I did hear that.
And I'm like, obviously.
Yes. Yes. It's so funny that somebody was willing to do that. I don't know what else there is to say about the dress code thing because everybody who looks at it is going, really? Nobody's really is anybody really like so upset by this that they're frothing at the mouth? I don't think so. But everybody's.
I have other things to deal
That's
with
what I
in my
mean.
life, but when I look at it, I'm like, of course.
Yes. That's the common response, I think, across the board is everybody goes, I don't really care that much about this, but it's just a sign of stupidity. It's just another sign that nothing matters anymore.
Well,
and why do you even try?
I mean, it's kind of a sign of decay, right?
Yes.
I mean, you wouldn't, I would assume you wouldn't need a dress code earlier in history for this sort of thing because people would have assumed, hey, I'm going into a house of some significance or some importance. I should put on my best moving forward. But man, like, I don't understand why John Fetterman is so beholden to a hoodie and basketball shorts.
This freaking brand.
Even at that, like, what does that say outside of slob?
Well, if it's his brand, who is looking at that? I mean, say that's your senator in Illinois, and you go, do you want to look at that and go, yeah, that's my guy right there. That's what's making me vote for that guy.
Finally, somebody who dresses in a hoodie.
Somebody who gets me.
Yeah.
Like, who's doing that?
He's still spending all the money that he doesn't have for things that we don't need. He's just doing it in a hoodie. He doesn't know you or relate to you any better.
Yeah.
I was looking at the Deroy. I forgot about this. Deroy's article in the Daily Caller that we talked to him about at 1:25, and I was looking through here to see if there's any anecdotes that I wanted to pull out, and one of them, this is a line from Deroy's article. Fetterman finally emerged to debate Republican Dr. Mehmet Oz and shocked voters with these opening words. Do you remember what he said?
No.
He said, "Hi, good night, everybody."
Oh, yeah. That's right. The one debate.
And everybody had voted already.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gotten better, though.
Not really. Nope.
Have we tried turning them off and turning them back on again? Because that always helps my computer.
No, I don't. I don't know how to answer that question.
Just take that pitch.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick that pitch up and throw it back at his face in the commercial break. The 15 best movies about the Roman Empire are ranked.
Oh, really?
Let's do it.
Yes.
Hunter wants to know on the YouTube, could Wiggins play us another tune?
I need a request because that one was an original.
Specifics. I don't know if the band competition is gonna happen. I am trying my darndest to tune this thing.
Yeah, throughout the last hour and a half, you have been trying to tune that thing to no avail.
Scooter, our friend Scooter, who knows everything, said on the YouTube, he's here every day. I love Scooter. He's responsible for half of my algorithm. But he said, he was like, there are YouTube videos on how to tune that thing.
No.
I have multiple guitars of my own. I have ukuleles that I know how to tune. I know how to do this. It's not the user. But I'm going to keep trying because I want to give Scooter a little something to listen to.
I want to hear more about these YouTube videos.
Where would they find them?
I need to know. Let us know.
You should
Log on to
Google
the
it.
chat and let us know where we find these.
So we established earlier in the show that maybe my answer of 50 BC was a fair answer from last week's X's and O's. Do we agree on that?
Well, I'm going to trust that you've looked it up sufficiently to say yes, but I haven't looked it up myself.
Brad, 50 BC, is it in the Roman Empire? What's on your phone? Tell us. Don't keep secrets.
This
No
is
secrets among
an
friends.
email about a client.
Is it a good one?
No, it's something I'm going to have to figure out after the show.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
Hopefully it's one of Ryan's clients. Did you suggest that, did you think that the 50 BC was a good answer?
Yeah, it's not the answer I would have given because I thought it was not safe enough, but yeah, I thought it was a good answer.
Well, I will say I gave 50 BC as a educated guess, but I am not well studied in the Roman Empire. Or am I?
It was a dangerous guess is what it was.
I'd like to live on the edge, just like the Roman Empire.
Yeah, right on the edge of the Roman Empire.
Kept trying
BC.
to moving it.
23 years past it.
Yeah.
15 best movies about the Roman Empire ranked. I don't know if you were one of those gentlemen who thinks about the Roman Empire every day. Seriously, your answer was maybe monthly?
No, I said something like monthly or quarterly, but then once I got to thinking about it, it depends on how much I'm reading the Bible. Because if I'm reading the Bible, I'm thinking about it probably almost every time I'm in the New Testament.
Basically the New Testament.
Yeah.
How many movies? Can you think of any off the top of your head that you think might be included in this?
Ben-Hur? No, that would have been pre-Roman Empire.
What, 60 BC?
No, way pre-Roman.
Oh, so you're saying 50 BC would have...
Or no, doesn't he? Maybe that is. I can't. It's been so long since I've seen that. I'll just go with Ben-Hur. Locking it in.
I mean, it's fine with me. You get all the points.
Yay! I win.
Gladiator, Caligula.
You'll have to tell me if you have seen these, because I have seen only a few. 15, Agora?
I have
Agora?
not seen that one.
No, it's about a phobia. Fears of outside.
A fictionalized biopic, which led to the existence of some historical inaccuracies. It takes place in Alexandria, Egypt, which was ruled by the Roman Empire at that time. Number 14, Satyricon.
Nope.
Have you heard of it?
Mm-mm.
Released in 1969.
It's a convention they hold in San Diego every year. It's
I
about
hate
satire.
you. It's also called Fellini Satyricon. I just am so mad. I'm moving on. Forget that movie. It sucks. I've never
What else
heard
do
of
you
it.
want to know?
13, Cleopatra.
I've heard of that one.
Yeah, I've heard of that
Is
person.
that the one with Elizabeth Taylor?
Yes. Yes. But neither of you have seen
I
it.
don't think I've seen it.
If I've seen it, it wasn't on purpose.
Yeah.
This
It
is
was on a Saturday.
back in the days when we had 6 channels and it
Yeah.
was probably on 24 and somebody didn't want to get up.
And your dad goes, "Oh, look, I remember this. Elizabeth Taylor."
Yeah.
Then you go, "Okay, I'm going outside."
Moses. Is that a different one?
Yeah, I think so. That's like Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. Cleopatra meets Moses.
Abraham.
And the Jetsons and the Flintstones.
Abraham. The Passion of the Christ.
Yeah, I've seen that
Oh,
one.
yeah. Well, that would make sense.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that. It's very hard to watch. A funny thing happened on the way to the forum.
No, it sounds
Not seen
funny,
that
though.
one.
What's the funny thing that happened?
You have to watch the movie.
He
Titus?
slips on a banana peel and falls in a kiddie pool.
Titus?
No.
Titus?
Yeah, you guys don't know anything about the Roman Empire.
I don't know about Roman Empire movies.
Barabbas?
I'm familiar with the biblical character, but not the movie.
Religious film released in 1961. So it is an oldie but a goodie, probably. Not that great, like number 9.
Yeah. Top 10, maybe.
Julius Caesar,
No, I know the movie, but I've never seen it.
heard of it, but I haven't seen it.
1953. Why did
Yeah.
we stop making movies about the Roman Empire?
I think people cared more.
Made
Or good
all of them.
ones.
Yeah, they're all done.
Yeah, but you could.
Nothing
these
left
are
to say.
these are all over 50 years old. You could do them again. Disney remakes movies every 18 months, and they all bad. I don't know how to say this, so maybe Brad can correct me. I mean, you can too, Ryan, but one of us should be right.
Okay.
Quo Vadis?
No, I don't know that one.
Quo Vadis.
It's not what you say; it's how you say it.
Well,
I was laughing before while you were talking. I don't even know what you guys were talking about.
Yeah.
Because I read this as the latest Temptation of Christ, but it's the last.
the latest.
And
It was the 80s one.
Is that that Willem Dafoe?
Yeah, it is. That's where he
As
got his big
Jesus?
break. Yeah, I have seen that movie.
That is not a good
That
movie.
movie's messed up.
Yeah.
It isn't the whole plot of the movie
This seems
that he
like-
decides to come down from the cross and live a life.
I've never seen it, but looking at Willem Dafoe as Jesus looks like a mashup between Jesus and the opposite of Jesus.
Yeah, the Green Goblin.
Yes. It's a very conflicting image.
Yeah.
Spartacus.
Yeah, I've heard of that one.
I think I've seen that. It's been a long time.
Number 4, the fall of the Roman Empire.
I bet that one's about the Roman Empire.
1964. What were you guys doing in the early 60s that you were obsessed with the Roman Empire?
I don't know. That's all
Let's
people
ask
were
you.
watching.
Yeah, Ryan Wiggins.
That and Westerns.
Ben-Hur.
Hey, there we go. All the points.
A historical drama that was released in 1959 and portrayed the Roman Empire. The film follows the life of a Jewish prince and a merchant named Judah Ben-Hur, was Charlton Heston, betrayed and then enslaved by his childhood friend, the powerful Roman commander Messala, played by Stephen Boyd. When he is finally free, Ben-Hur returns home and starts seeking revenge, but his goal soon changes.
They are going to remake that. It's going to be called Ben-Him.
He-her.
He-ho.
Oh, man.
We're doing a show. Hee-ho-ha. Ben-Hur.
Gladiator. I think Gladiator is one of the best movies ever.
Yep.
I love that movie.
It is perhaps one of the best films to ever be made about the Roman Empire. It was released in 2000, and since the people still talk about it and still has a fan base, the film follows a Roman general named, do you remember?
Maximus Decimus Meridius.
Did you look that up?
No.
Nerd.
He really does think about the Roman Empire.
Commander of the Northern
I was
Armies.
just going to say Russell Crowe, but whatever.
Yeah, I was going to say
Maximus.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Maximus. Yeah, Joaquin Phoenix is so good in that movie.
Yeah, he is.
He's such a weasel.
You hate him so
much.
much.
You hate him, you want to see him die, and then guess what? He dies.
Ah, shoot.
23 years later.
I was 2/3 of the way through the movie.
It's that long. It might have been a 2-taper.
Yeah, it might have been.
Did VHS tapes still come out? I think they did.
Mm-hmm.
What year was that?
2000.
Yeah, that would have been right on the border.
Yeah, like you could have probably gotten it. with
Either way.
Maximus Decimus Meridius, who is led to his downfall as he becomes a slave. The one behind his downfall is the Roman Emperor
Commodus.
Man. As he makes Maximus a gladiator, and now he has to fight to hit the death. However, Maximus will do everything he can to regain his position and honor. And the last song that they play is called Honor Him. Number 1, Life of Brian.
Oh, yeah. I don't know that I've seen... I don't like Monty Python that much, to be honest. Holy Grail is really funny, but aside from that, not a huge Monty Python guy.
Not really either. And I feel like I'm of the age where I can finally say that out loud and be like, it's okay if you think I'm wrong, because I've been thinking you've been wrong for decades.
It's all British humor to me. Just, it doesn't hit.
Life of Brian is a satirical film that was released in 1979. Some would also call it Monty Python's Life of Brian. The film follows Brian Cohen, who goes through many adventures, including being mistaken for Jesus. The film does an excellent job at depicting life during the times of the Roman Empire and also biblical times, and it remains one of the few films that faithfully did that. Like most films that depict Jesus, Life of Brian faced a lot of criticism from religious groups, but this doesn't cancel the fact that critics praised it. The comedy film is without a doubt one of the best films to be made about the Roman Empire.
That's number 1. Wow. British humor in general is like if you took Martin Short and made him into an entire genre of comedy.
It's like the Father of the Bride series.
That's Steve Martin.
Yeah.
Martin Short is in that.
Is he?
Yes.
If Steve Martin's in it, I wouldn't doubt that Martin Short's in it.
Yeah. Oh, are you kidding me? Don't think I confuse Steve Martin and Martin Short. Martin Short says every party has a pooper, and that's why we invited you, party pooper. But he says it in his Martin Short way.
Was he the wedding planner?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's hilarious.
It's like British. It's like they walk into a room and they're like, "Hey, I'm falling," and you're like, "That's not really funny," but they do it in such a big, grandiose way that you think I probably should laugh here because they're doing a big thing.
Like pity humor?
Yes, it is. It's pity. I pity them.
I'm not surprised that you think you're better than the British.
Hey, Holy Grail is funny. I'll give them that one.
I'm
But-
sure they'll be grateful.
Let them. Anybody who's streaming there, I just want you to know that you had a great one in you there.
One more trumpet song, Timmy. We'll be back with the poll results in just a minute. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
Thomas Helbig and the Retirement Advisor Group just got to speak with them at about 1:45 today on the Annie Frey Show. We will be Tuesday, October 3rd, next Tuesday, out at the Plaza Frontenac Hilton. And we will be there. I'll get there at about 6 o'clock and be there until about 6:30. And we will be welcoming you to this last event of the year. The event is free. It costs you nothing to attend. You just need to sign up so they can prepare for the right amount of people. You call 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494. We had a couple people on the YouTube chat wanting that phone number again. So you can jot that down. Give them a call when the time is right for you, when you've got the free time to do it. You can also go online to retirementkey.com and scope out the Retirement Advisory Group. Learn about how they help people shift from working your tail off right now to save money for retirement. You know retirement is right around the corner. Maybe you're newly retired, and you don't want to freak out about market volatility. They can help you walk through this. Sign up for this free event. I would love to see you there. Mark Cox and Mark Reardon will be there as well. 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494. Online at retirementkey.com.
Join Mosby Building Arts every Saturday from 12 to 1 p.m. on 97.1 FM. Rich Orris and guests give insider tips about renovations, design, construction, exteriors, and more. Tune in to Right at Home with Rich on Saturdays or catch the podcast online.
Station KFTK, an equal opportunity employer, is dedicated to providing a broad outreach for job vacancies at our stations. We seek the help from local community organizations in referring qualified applicants to our stations. Community organizations that wish to receive our job vacancy information can reach out to Frankie Fan at 206-577-2432. In addition, all listeners are encouraged to visit Odyssey.com for an online listing of job vacancies of all Odyssey radio stations.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness 101 for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness 101. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
The MLB app. Your team, your players, your home for live streaming baseball.
And what a way to start.
Customize your home feed with your favorite team. Get personalized stats, highlights, stories, breaking news, and follow your team on game day. 3D replays and live streams add a new dimension to the game. Plus, free live streaming programming every day. The MLB app. Make it your home for all things baseball. Download for free from the App Store or Google Play. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
St. Louis physician Dr. Abicki created Neovitin 15 years ago to help support his own nutrition when he needed it most. Since then, Neovitin has helped thousands of people support their daily nutrition with sensible doses of vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, and Dr. Abicki's proprietary blend. If you're ready to join many St. Louisans in supporting their nutrition, give Neovitin a try. You can find Neovitin at your local Schnucks, Dierbergs, and online at neovitin.com.
What are you going to eat for breakfast? Might I suggest a St. Louis kolache? They're so delicious. They make them fresh every single morning with a secret dough recipe. 35 different varieties made from scratch daily. You like it spicy? How about buffalo chicken mac and cheese? Or maybe you just want a bacon, egg, and cheese or cinnamon roll. That's my fave. Find out where they are at stlkolache.com. New locations in Arnold, Cottleville, and Sunset Hills. stlkolache.com. stlkolache.com.
The YouTube live chat poll of the day. Andy just walked by and turned off my microphone. If the bosses are listening, that's why that happened. If it were up to you, would Donald Trump participate in the debates? Yes or no? The debate is tomorrow night. We'll be doing a watch party, and we're airing it live right here on 97.1. Do you think he should be participating at this juncture in the game? 2:46 right now. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
TrumpStop.com. The Mark Reardon Show.
Here's our random fact. Canned food was invented in 1810, but the can opener wasn't invented until 1858. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? That's not very kitchen efficient.
Weekdays from 3 to 6.
Some people call me the space cowboy. Yeah. Some call me the gangster of love. Some people call me Maurice. 'Cause I speak of the pompatus of love. People talk about me, baby.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on Twitter @Annie Frey Show.
Don't you worry, baby, don't worry. 'Cause I'm right here, right here, right here, right here at home. 'Cause I'm a picker.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. The YouTube live chat poll for today: if it were up to you, would Donald Trump participate in the debates? Ryan, what do you think?
No, I don't think so. I think he's making the strategically correct decision.
Why?
I don't really think it helps him. I said before, the only way that it would help him is to get his message out more, but it also could raise up a candidate who hits him hard. It could raise up a good opposition to him, and I don't know that happens without him on stage.
I'm just asking you this just to clarify, though. It's if it were up to you. So you're saying that if it were up to you, you wouldn't force him to debate?
No.
Because you are a Trump supporter?
I'm just not really. I'm more approaching this strategically as like his campaign manager.
So
saying,
as a Trump supporter.
Here's what I would do if I were you. Yeah.
Okay. So not as a Trump supporter, but as a Trump supporter.
Well, I guess so. Yeah. I mean, really, just as a political strategist, I think that is the right strategy.
Yeah, I get that.
Brad?
I would force him to debate because I hate the idea that to Ryan's point, it is a good strategy, but I despise the fact that it is a good strategy. I hate everything about that. I don't think that anybody should skip out on a debate. I've said that. I said that at the beginning of the show. Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever. If you are serious about becoming a candidate for the office, if you're interviewing for the job that I'm supposed to put my vote in, then I think you should come tell me about who you are. I don't think you should ever be rewarded for thinking you're so far ahead that you don't need to talk to the voters.
Here, I'll just read a couple comments here. YouTube comments coming from folks like you on the Annie Frey YouTube channel. Trump isn't special. This is from Wavy. Trump isn't special. He should have to earn the vote of the American people just like any other candidate. The only agenda plan I have seen is vengeance. That's not what I see. I don't agree wholeheartedly with that being his only agenda or plan. I think he has more than that, but I think that the vengeful nature of the Trump campaign, which I think is warranted, is the leading issue. Ryan, you said that not debating is what was best for Trump. And I guess you could make the argument that what's best for Trump is winning is best for the country, but I'm more interested in a Republican winning than specifically Trump. But absolutely, let's go if it's Trump as the nominee. But I don't know that what is best for Trump in this instance is, on the whole, what's best for the country. I think that Donald Trump telling the American people in that platform what his policies are and his message is, how he's already done it, what he knows about, to the extent that he can say where the proverbial, maybe literal bodies are buried, and using that platform to encourage other Republican voters to be less worried about Donald Trump. I think he should do that. I think by not participating in these debates, it's hardening him even more so, if it's even possible, to the caricature of what everybody, whatever it is you think about him. If you think that he's the second coming versus if you think he's the devil incarnate, or likely many people somewhere in between there, when he doesn't participate, I think it hardens what people already think of him. I would like to see him challenge the idea that everybody already knows everything they need to know about Trump, that there's more. Because if there's more to him and people want to know more, then they might vote for more.
as his campaign advisor, I think the best argument for him participating, beyond I think this is good for democracy, but even for Trump, the best argument for him participating is that he is a very effective communicator. And if you want to get the attention, you're going to go out there and you're going to talk, and he will get the sound bites. I mean, if you want attention, this is a way to do it. Now, I will say, though, that I think the criticism, and you kind of alluded to this a little bit, the criticism of him not going out there and making his case that would be best for America for him to do that again, is that he's in the unique position that very rarely in American history have we ever had a person who was the president already running for re-election again and needing to debate. He already had, usually all these candidates, whether it's this year or any other year, they're saying, here's why I would be the best at running the country. Here, I'm going to make my case to you. He's already done that. He's literally been there and done that.
No,
he has
hasn't.
a resume.
Because the last time he had a shot at it, he lost.
That's true, but for 4 years, we saw what it was.
Yeah, but for 4 years, that wasn't enough for the American people in 2020. And that is the final note of record on Donald Trump for a lot of people. I'm not saying that I don't support it, and I know you're not saying the people should blindly support it, but the fact that he lost in 2020 still matters. He is not the incumbent president because Joe Biden is, because Joe Biden, whatever you think about it, however you feel that it culminated, Joe Biden is the president right now. And so if you dismiss the idea that that Donald Trump should be present to earn his way back into the Oval Office because he's already been the president, he's been there and he lost. And I know that rubs people the wrong way, but it's factually accurate. Joe Biden is the president, one way or the other. And I think that the idea that he lost, I mean, people are talking all about Donald Trump's 2016 campaign, about how great it was and how smart it was and the mood of the country in 2016. And I get that. I think it's a very valid comparison to where people are right now. However, I am a little leery to just swallow that whole and discount the fact that in 2020 people didn't elect him. He got 8-10 million more votes in 2020 than he did in 2016. Think about what Donald Trump was up against in 2020. And every day preceding that election, from the moment Donald Trump came down the escalator announcing he was running for president, completely unfair fight. None of what Donald Trump was put through is right or good. But it all affected the outcome of that 2020 election. And while I do deeply believe that the country is much more in a position of 2015, 2016 than 2020, 2021, he's not the incumbent president, and he lost. And I think that the Trump people who are pounding their fists on the table about that are discounting the fact that, your last thing that you did was you lost.
It seems to me the big question is he's locking up the nomination. It's not done, but he's so far ahead that does this help him in the general to participate in the debate or not? Because that's what he should be answering.
That's where I wish he would see how it could.
I get that.
I think I want to see underdog Trump. I don't want to see usher Donald Trump back to his throne. I want to see underdog, scrappy fighter Donald Trump who goes in there leading us, not waiting for Joe Biden to vacate the throne. That's what I want to see. I like an underdog. The Andy Frey YouTube live chat poll, if it were up to you, would Donald Trump participate in the debates, yes or no? 43% say no. 57% say yes. He will not be at the debate tomorrow night, Wednesday, at the Fox Business debate, but we'll see if he's missed. Appreciate you being with us today. Check out the podcast, but don't listen to that part where I was tuning the guitar. You got any trumpet left for us?
I got some saxophone.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't want to stop you. We're about to run out of time. Just like Bill Clinton. Stick around, the Mark Reardon Show coming up next.
Gonna lose control tonight. What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. A Tuesday edition of the show is just around the corner. Joe Biden walked the picket line for the UAW in Michigan. We will illustrate the hypocrisy of that coming up after Fox News.
Stewart's American Mortgage is the home of the bagel loan. And if you are in a position to need a mortgage, and I know people are like, oh, rates are high. Why would anybody? Well, sometimes you got to buy a house. And if you're looking to buy a house and you're going to need to acquire that mortgage, it's the smart move to call 314-324-4440 and ask Stewie how a bagel loan can help you. No closing costs. People say bagel loan. Why is it called a bagel loan? That's silly. Well, it makes a lot of sense. Bagels look like a zero. And it's to remind you that when you use the bagel loan that you can only get with Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage, you're going to pay zero in closing costs that all those other folks out there who are going to give you that loan, they're going to charge you for that. This can save you thousands of dollars and put you in a position to be a top negotiator with a top offer to get that house that you want to make your home. Reach out to Stewie. Tell him Annie sent you. You can call him. You can text him and ask about the bagel loan. 314-324-4440. Call or text 314-324-4440 and ask Stewie at Stewart's American Mortgage about the bagel loan. You can Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
To have a roof over your head, a nice roof over your head, is very important.
That's Rick talking about his experience with Rhino Shield ceramic coating.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago, and they were very cooperative on getting us the right paint. They were in and out and done in no time. Once it was finished, looked great. We were very happy with it.
The main reason Rick called Rhino Shield is because it's backed by a 25-year transferable warranty.
We've watched a lot of people get their house painted 3 or 4 times, and we haven't had to do any of it. I don't know about you guys, but I don't want to have to paint it every 5-7 years.
Take a tip from Rick and put down the paintbrush and call Rhino Shield for your free evaluation. 877-25-RHINO. 877-25-RHINO. Or visit 877-25rhino.com.
We got Rhino Shield 18 years ago. Financially makes sense, especially if it's going to last like this did. Still looks great.
Call now. 877-25-RHINO or 877-25rhino.com.
Don't pay, don't Rhino, go Rhino Shield.